Yo, what up? Welcome and welcome back to A Stiff Receipt. This is episode 4 of what we're calling a podcast, I guess.
I mean, in the loosest definition, yeah.
Well, I mean, what is a podcast really? It's just people talking for an extended period of time, right? It could be about anything. I don't think a podcast has a specific rule.
I think it's a little deep for that this early on in the podcast.
But I think
you're wrong.
I think like right off the bat, I think we need to dive into Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
it happened last night.
Definitely.
And it was a goddamn banger. It was really good.
I mean, it had one problem.
It had one problem, but that's
about it.
But at least that one problem was so brief that you can just kind of pretend like it didn't happen.
Officially, it was 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
That's actually longer than I thought it was.
Well, that actually did go on longer than I thought it did. Anyways, we'll get to that.
But
anyways,
the first match of the night, they did the Women's Elimination Chamber match. It was Asuka, Carmella, Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Natalya, and Liv Morgan. It was pretty good. Like, it wasn't like a 10 out of 10 match, but it was damn good. It was
a
good.
solid 8 at least.
I think an 8. 8 out of 10 is a good way to go. Or a 3.5 out of 5, whichever. I don't know. However people rate things.
Fuck it.
A B plus, I guess.
It was a what I said.
There we go.
What I said. That's what it was.
There we go. It was a B plus or an 8 out of 10 or a 3.5 out of 5, whichever way you want to look at it.
I don't care. It was a good match. It was just a really
was great.
Good match.
Definitely the highlight of that match, and it's still, I've watched the clip so many times since then, is that damn flip over powerbomb that Liv did off the top of the pod. That was so incredible. It was awesome to see, like, it on the show, but like seeing like the crowd point of view clips makes it look even more scary. Like, that was wild.
Insane. Like, you saw it from the angle they wanted you to, but when you see it from the angle of up above, looking at how far she had to go is just astounding. And it was really, really awesome and done really well. And it looked really good.
That was another thing. Like those spots like that, it was really sketchy. And like, since there's so much space between there's so much more space now between the post and the top of the pod as opposed to how it used to be. Yeah. So she had to like, I don't even know how you like. How do you even have the courage to like commit to that? Because you have to really dive forward and just hope that you don't die.
My question is, well, I've seen them do it actually. Now that I think about it, a lot of them, you know, there's some people that work stuff out beforehand. There's some people that they call the match when they're in there. Right. A lot of old school guys do, but like what you see them do a lot is, hey, can we do this spot real quick? And they do it with a mat. So I guarantee you they were in there figuring out, hey, you overshot. That's okay. That means you didn't crash and die.
Like the way she had to do it is like, because she did a flip, but she had to be sure to she had to grab Raquel, and her grabbing her like was like made it to where she had a point, like a pivot point where she could like fully rotate. And like if like let's say like she didn't have like the proper like grasp, like she would have dove down like head first into the floor.
No, she would have tucked still, but that's the thing is she would have been better off than anything she would have.
I'm sure she would have been fine, but like as I'm saying, like if you fuck that up, it's nothing's gonna look right.
No, there's nothing.
And that's another thing about that spot. A lot of times those crazy spots like that, like they look awesome, but they're not like super clean. That spot was like flawless. It was perfect.
Pretty. It was pretty.
Nailed it.
Almost as good looking as Liv.
Yes, almost.
I'm terrible. Anyways, no, it was just a really good match. They did really cool spots. That one obviously was really fun. Nikki Cross did a crossbody off the top of one onto them.
She was just the regular psycho that you would expect her to be the whole time, the whole match. Even in the pod, like just sitting there shaking and rocking back and forth like an actual psychopath.
looking super happy to get out and hurt people, but also super uncomfortable that she was in a closed space.
Who was it that
which
got,
really worked?
Who was it got that got slammed through the pod? Was that Nikki? I think it might have been, because I think that's what happened. Like, Nikki got slammed through the pod, and then shortly after, that's when she got eliminated. She was the first person eliminated, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right, she was. Yeah,
but I'm not 100% sure she was the one that went through the pod, but I think she was. So,
which was a cool spot too. But her on top, throwing her jacket and acting like a nut bag was fantastic.
And I hate, like, they eliminated Liv Morgan second, which I was really annoyed with. But the way they eliminated her was so awesome. Like, she held off Natalia's sharpshooter for so long, and then freaking Asuka gets in there, and they've both got a single submission hold on Liv Morgan, and that she didn't even tap. She literally passed out. So that's what they had to do to get her out of the match, which was I'm completely content with.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. I hate that she was out so early because she's fun,
but at least she had a good elimination.
She had making her look like an absolute, trying to make herself look like an absolutely badass, like she has. Yeah, she didn't give up. She had to be literally put to sleep, pass out, quote, from pain. That, you know, as far as that goes, but that was cool. It made it. Everybody actually got eliminated really good. Yeah, I mean, Natalia was in there too long, but that's beside the point. Well,
they had to. She's Canadian. She's got all the heart shit. So, like, I mean, I feel like you kind of had to.
Dude, it's the wrestling industry. Throw a fucking rock, you'll hit a Canadian. It's
but
fine.
I mean, she's got the whole. She's got the pink and black. She's got the fucking music. Like,
in Montreal, pink and black in Montreal is a good idea.
That's the only reason she was in that match. Realistically, is because they were in Canada.
It's because
it's Montreal or whatever. You know.
Yeah, it's because her uncle or her uncles are the Hearts, and her dad
is Jim Neidhart.
Jim, I have had so much crack cocaine today, Neidhart. Just astounding. It's actually impressive, the old stories. I'm not even gonna go into it.
But Asuka ends up winning the match, which I don't think was a surprise.
Not a surprise, and not a disappointment.
I was kind of hoping for a surprise.
It would have been
to see something a little bit new, but you can't complain with Asuka versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. You know,
I love Asuka as a wrestler, and she's fantastic in ring. Has a fun little gimmick no matter what she does, whether she's just the Empress of Tomorrow or she has the very confusing face paint. Because I want to like her, but she also looks like a demonic clown.
Yeah, the demonic clown shit. Confusing. I'm about that right now. It looks awesome.
It's dope, but it's like very confusing for me. I hate clowns.
Yes.
Dork was a nightmare as a child. As an adult, I'm alright with him. But no, she's fantastic, and you put her in there. If she wins it, she wins it. If she doesn't, it's gonna be a good thing. So I'm glad that she's the one who won. But given the other people that were in this, because I don't hate Carmella, but I know you do.
I hate Carmella. I think she's one of my least favorite people right now.
Fair.
Maybe she had like an era where she was awesome, and I just didn't watch during that time. But as of someone who doesn't know a lot about Carmella, I hate Carmella.
Yeah, it's fair. She was all right. I don't hate her. I hate her and Corey Graves.
I hate Corey. Yes, I hate Corey Graves too.
Because I hate Corey Graves. But that, I think that's universal at this point. Anyways, it's just out of all of them, looking at Asuka or Liv or maybe Raquel, because as much as I like Nikki, I kind of was. I don't think that's the person.
I thought I would have been down with Raquel winning, but I don't know. As I said, I don't think like Asuka. I think was kind of the expected win, and I can't really be mad about that by any means.
No.
But I'll tell you what I can be mad about. The next match. So we get this
4 minutes and 45 seconds of Vince Russo booking.
We get this dumbass, like, we get the feud of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley built back up again after or actually before Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble just kind of like continued it, and then they had these talks on TV. We built up this match, and WWE decided, well, you know what? I think we don't want this match tonight. We want to have it at WrestleMania. So instead, We get this 4-minute shit show of a match that was just horrendous. And then Brock Lesnar literally donkey kicked Bobby Lashley in the dick right in front of the referee and got disqualified. Like,
no, that's not really the best thing when you put the words donkey and dick together in a sentence. That was the least offensive, but also not the best outcome.
Like,
just gonna say that.
It was so dumb. This match was like
bad.
a negative
really
3 out of 5.
It was
an F+.
I don't know if it's that bad. I would give it a 0.
All right, I'll give it a 1 out of 5, a D minus, or a 3 out of 10. There we go.
I'm not even gonna count it as a match. This was a segment.
It really wasn't a match.
This was literally a 4-minute.
It was a fart in the wind.
Second. It was a promo with entrances, is what this was. So that's what we're gonna count it as. It doesn't count. We're not counting it towards the overall, like, what we're saying about the whole thing as a total, because this one sucks so bad. It doesn't.
The best part of this match is that Brock Lesnar F5'd the referee twice.
Yes, once in the ring and then once onto the already collapsed table.
Yeah. That was the best part of the whole match, was the Brock Lesnar F5'ing the referee twice.
I want to know what you do as a referee when Brock Lesnar comes up to you and goes, "Hey, I'm going to need you to take a bump twice. I'm going to F5 you." Do you really? How do you react? What is the correct reaction? Because no, and you want to piss him off? Or yes, and you eat 2 F5s? Like, how do you do that? There's no good answer to that. It's like, I really don't want to take this bump.
Right.
I don't want to do this twice. Bobby Lashley doesn't even want to do this. But no, that was stupid.
But
I hated it. Hopefully they'll make up for it and have like a no hold.
As I said, I think this was a swerve thing
match
for WrestleMania. And then surely the WrestleMania match will be actually a freaking match.
More than likely.
But that's literally like all there is to say about that match. Nothing else happened of importance or value. But next, we had probably one of the best mixed tag matches I've seen on WWE in as long as I can remember.
I'll clarify for people who watched a little bit more, since they were doing the mixed tag match challenge, especially because that one had some decent matches in it. They weren't great, but this one was awesome.
It was much better than the Miz and Maurice tag match that we got the last time Edge and Beth teamed.
It was definitely better than watching it was better than watching Ronda Rousey and The Rock versus Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania.
Oh,
that one wasn't the worst thing in the world, because Stephanie's not great, but to be fair, I would say neither was Ronda Rousey, but I still maintain Ronda Rousey is still not good. So
that was the best part about this pay-per-view, is that Ronda Rousey was not there.
Not in it at all, but we didn't get Shayna Baszler, so that makes me kind of sad because I like Shayna. But we didn't get Ronda, so that's a good sign. But it was good. I mean, it's Beth Phoenix and Edge and Finn and Rhea. How could that not have been good? Like, I know that there's a lot of like hard things to do with mixed tag match, but those 4 people are fantastic wrestlers.
Yes.
I'm sure they would have figured that out, and they did.
But they all did great. There was the freaking that part where Dominic got a little involved there, and Edge he got that face, he got them eyes, and literally fucking chased his ass. And Dominic literally ran backstage. He was out of the building. He was gone.
I have legitimately never seen anyone. I don't think I've seen anybody pull that spot in I don't know how long, where he just bolted to the back, and the guy that was in the wrestling match followed him to the entrance ramp and went, and he ran all the way back. I guess I'm done here, and went back to the match. Like, that was funny. Also, the spot that I like to call out in this match that unfortunately came right after Beth almost missed basically missed the opportunity for the save.
Yeah.
And Edge had to pull his shoulder up barely.
Oh yeah, the dive that she missed.
Yeah,
I love the announce team still called it as if she was the one that saved the pin.
That was hilarious. But yeah, she missed a little bit, so it kind of killed the mood a little bit, and people knew that was a fuck up, so it kind of killed it. Because right after that, she's on the outside beating up Rhea, and then all of a sudden, she legitimately threw Dominic at the ropes to knock Finn off the ropes, like threw him like a rag doll up against it. It was the funniest shit I've ever. I was like, that did he just fucking pop up from nowhere and hit the ropes backwards? And they're like, Beth Phoenix just threw Dominic into the ropes. I'm like, why did that get a pop? That was hilarious.
How like the whole match, they made Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix to be like equals. Like they were both completely an unstoppable force.
Yes.
There was those times where they were both clotheslining each other at the same time, but nobody was fucking budging.
Yes.
I freaking love that.
They're shown as what they are. They both were. Rhea Ripley's kind of like Beth Phoenix now,
right?
Or Beth Phoenix was. That's what that is. They're both powerhouse, big, strong, like slightly bigger than the rest of the group, and they're strong though. And that's the thing about them, is they are very strong women. And they made them look like it was almost like what you expected to come out of Bobby Lashley and
Brock Lesnar.
Brock.
Yeah.
But we got that instead with Rhea and Beth Phoenix.
Right.
I wasn't banking on that one, but it's pretty cool.
But they did that. They did like the double like superplexes or whatever, where the women did the moves to the men.
Yeah, they pulled them off and did power bombs to them.
That was awesome. And then my favorite part of the match, they finished the match off and got the win with fucking FTR's Shatter Machine.
That was awesome.
That was hype as fuck.
Because apparently FTR and Edge are really good friends in real life.
Apparently, Dax, if I remember correctly, he said that Adam lives like right down the road from him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he does. I remember that now, because they were talking about when they were in. That's what it was. There was something that happened, and one of the angles with Edge coming back when FTR was still in. Yeah. Or even when they weren't, they talked about Dax or somebody being at Edge's house to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah.
Like it was in universe. I forgot about that. That's hilarious, but that makes sense. But the Shatter Machine was awesome to see them do.
While I'm thinking about it here, because this is kind of relevant. So they finished the match off. The Edge and Beth won with the Shatter Machine. Yeah. And reading today that obviously, speaking about FTR, of FTR, they finished off with the Shatter Machine in that match. Edge and FTR are good friends and whatnot. And the tequila post on Instagram. Dax Harwood posted a picture of tequila on Instagram, and there was, if you look in the corner, there was a document like on the table that you could see the WWE, like some of the WWE logo on. So now everybody's this has continued to fuel the rumors of that happening. And Dax Harwood said on his podcast that it's more possible than a lot of people might think. Me and Cash, FTR against Edge and Christian. That's a tag team match I would absolutely love to have. Those two guys are two of the best storytellers in the ring. I don't think that's an overstatement or overrating them. I think a lot of people see that as well. They're incredible storytellers. And like, fucking, I don't see that happening, but god damn it, if it did, I'd be pretty freaking excited.
I can see it happening soon-ish.
We gotta see what's gonna happen with Christian, I guess.
Oh, God forbid he's not in AEW anymore.
Here's the, like, dude, oh god, that I'm so.
God forbid
when he returned,
he's still working with fucking
when
Jungle
he returned
Boy.
to attack Jungle Boy, I just died a little inside. That has been one of the shittiest feuds. Absolutely hated, and it needs to stop.
I was hoping we would get, if anything, him coming back and acting like he's still hurt, and then having Luchasaurus come out, but apparently he's supposed to not have his mask anymore.
Yeah,
possibly. So that would have been cool to see him come out with the mask. If they want to do that, we can go back to that. But I'm gonna be real honest. I remember when Christian came back, and I was like, "Hey, cool, Christian." I never really watched Christian.
I love Christian.
So I didn't know.
I've always loved Christian.
But everybody talks about how great he is.
He
so
is.
I'm like, okay.
I think
everybody says he's great. I'm not saying he's bad. I couldn't give a fuck about anything Christian does, though.
His peak. This is what pisses me off about a lot of people. Where like Christian, Sting, AJ Styles, all of those guys. Their peak time period was literally early TNA, when nobody was watching it.
Yeah.
And when it was just. I feel like their peak was wasted because of that,
well,
and it's really
unfortunate.
Early
TNA, it was like mid-tier, like the.
Well, it was early television TNA, is
early
what I mean.
TV TNA,
right?
True. And it was kind of in that weird area where it was like, this kind of is a shitty place, but it's not terrible. But like, I go back and I watch some of that, and some of it's cool, but like, I'm looking at what they're doing, like what anybody's doing, and maybe it's the booking with Tony Khan. I'm not gonna say that's entirely not a problem, like, but just Christian as a wrestler just does nothing for me. I think is really the problem. So I may not get it, or I may not see it, but I understand that it's there for a lot of people. So like, God forbid he's not on the wrestling show that I prefer myself. I would be okay if he went back to WWE.
I just think
now because it's
Christian
better.
has been
Maybe
wasted.
it'll be.
I think he's been booked really poorly.
You're probably correct.
Remember when he came back and he put up that first match that he had with fucking Kenny Omega that was a fucking banger for the Impact title?
You know what's funny about that? You're gonna hate me for this answer. No, I don't remember that. It doesn't stick out in my brain.
It was literally the only thing that I can recall that Christian has done in AEW that I can even remember.
I don't even remember that. Like the only thing I remember
he took the Impact belt off of Kenny so that he could have the Impact belt one last time, since that's what he was known for. He was the Impact World Champ.
I just remember, the only thing I remember about him coming in and having a match or doing anything in AEW is he showed up as the big deal for the match for
Luchasaurus,
well, no, not just that.
Jurassic Express. I mean,
it was the first time he was in the Battle Royal, one of the Battle Royals. I think it was Casino or whatever.
Yeah,
like he was in that and he got beat by Jungle Boy.
That's funny because I don't even remember that.
That's how he debuted. That was the big thing.
I don't remember that, but
that's the only thing I kind of remember. And then I just remember for way too fucking long we got the weird slow burn of apparently Christian was planning the whole time to split up Jurassic Express as revenge for beating him at the fucking Casino Battle Royal.
It's bad.
That is the
fact that we've gone all of this time now and we're running this back. I just can't even.
I don't
It's like
know.
we should have taken the hint when Christian got injured. It should have been that should have been the moment there. It's like, okay, well, this isn't working. We'll scrap this and we'll have him do something else later. The fact that all this time has passed and now we're doing this still, why?
Whatever God you may believe in, or whatever or the universe itself, the magic, the mystery, the wonder, the energy in the universe says, hey, stop this shit with Christian by hurting him. And you just go, I guess we can run it back. I don't get it. It's stupid.
No, it's dumb.
Nobody's sitting here clamoring for more Christian versus Jungle Boy.
No.
And that's not to say anything bad about either one of them.
No.
Despite the fact that I'm not a big Christian person.
It's not hitting. It's not hitting at all.
That's the least interesting thing I want to see. You know, it was kind of fun. Christian and Hook together in a tag team for a minute. Maybe make them fight each other for a minute as people making each other better, making friends, make them do something else. Jack Perry doesn't need extra people. Jungle Boy doesn't need extra people.
Like we need to fully commit to the singles run.
Throw him into the singles, do something.
Yep.
If he wants to hang out with people backstage, fine. If that's where you're going to go with promos and stuff, fine. We need to fully in on single stuff, and I think they're doing that, which is fine. Christian, I don't know, find something else for him, let him go. I don't know. Who's happy with what's going on with him? It's beyond me. I don't know why we would still be caring about as far as that goes.
Yeah,
if Christian goes
I don't
back
get
to
it.
WWE, maybe this would be a good time for Edge is getting close to
Well, see,
not
this
being
is
there anymore.
this is what I wanted to bring up next with backpedal to Edge. Edge, he signed a 3-year contract with WWE. That contract expires this year. He brought up in the media scrum that because somebody asked about retirement and whatnot. It's like he doesn't have any plans. He doesn't know when that'll be and whatnot. Like he did give a promo last year when they were in Canada that last time, and said
about wanting to retire in Canada.
He wanted to retire there. So
fair. I think that best place.
That like this could be like the last year, and then he could retire. Maybe he will do some kind of extension. I don't know. But if we were to like dream book shit, right? Let's say Edge does like he wants to finish out like the final year or whatever, and then they bring in FTR and Christian, and then we actually do get that match, and that could be the final like send off for both Edge and Christian. Like that would be
if Christian's
wonderful
in that area of wanting to be done, which I understand, especially for a wrestler about that age, wanting to looking at things and going, all right, I've hurt myself. I've been out for almost a year at this point. It feels like maybe I could not do this anymore.
Yeah,
I would see him doing that, and that would be a good last one for both. They would be out like they went in together. It would be Edge and Christian again.
And I want to point out both of those dudes are almost like they're less than a year away from being 50, and they both look incredibly good for fucking 50.
And Edge makes it even worse.
Edge almost he looks better now than he did then.
He kind of does. And also, you look at him and go, oh, yeah, and your neck was fucked too, wasn't it?
Right. But that really would be, impressive. I mean, that would be awesome to get Christian back in there and then have Edge and Christian do one more run and with FTR and have FTR, like, you know, retire them like that. God, that'd be great. I mean, I think I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. It's just not like a high probability at the moment, anyways.
Yeah, right now it's not a real possibility.
Right.
It's possible in the future, absolutely. And I'm like I said, I'm totally transparent on the fact that I enjoy AEW better than WWE generally. Lately, I don't know. It's been kind of nice in WWE.
Dude, I agree.
The AEW's
I think
ropey,
realistically for me, it's been harder to like get as invested in AEW because the WWE shit is what's nostalgic to me.
That's true.
And I enjoyed watching both of them, but like there was always, even when the WWE was shit, I was still kind of watching it, and then just like I'd watch it and just be so fucking mad about how dumb it was. But now it's not really like that anymore. Like I feel like we've been on a pretty good trajectory here the past month or two, specifically.
Yeah, especially in the last few months, it's been really good. It's been kind of better, anyways. When he kind of we had gone.
I think as the first like major thing that happened that like kind of lit a fire into WWE in the direction that it was going was SummerSlam. That was the first WWE pay-per-view that I had seen in forever that was just incredibly good.
And that was mostly, again, H involved in that.
It was the last pay-per-view that was booked by Vince, but by that time, Triple H had control over the creative.
Yeah, and he was able, I mean, from what I understand, there wasn't actually like everything was changed or anything.
Right.
But there was a lot of tweaks that Triple H did that were just better, is what it was. It was just making sure, like, all right, we're heading in a direction. We all know where we're going. We're kind of booked into a corner at this point, especially with Roman and the whole bloodline BS. So we're kind of booked into a corner. We know where we have to go with that. We'll just get there. And credit where credit's due. He's been heading down the road the right way,
and every time
trying as best he can.
Every time I hear Triple H in an interview. He just sounds like everything he says is just so like encouraging and reassuring, and it's wholesome, and like I feel like he's just killing it. Like he's doing a great job, and his interviews are great. I just love Triple H.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell myself for what a cynical asshole I am. I hear that, and I immediately think of every story I've ever heard about him and Sean and all the backstage BS, and I go, is that really how he is now? Are they both nicer people?
I would assume so.
Are they still just shitbags? Because I could see them being still just shitbags, but they could always talk their way into not being that. Like, that's kind of what I do with them. But it's always that, like, these are wrestlers, they're carnies, they'll BS you. But, you know, I don't know. I do want to actually believe that they sound like, when he talks like that, it's like, oh, you sound cool. You sound like a nice guy, and I should probably not have
if he wasn't like generally, I'm sure there's everybody has some things that they do that are shitty. But like,
don't sneeze in front of Vince.
Here's the thing,
eats and you don't.
Like, you hear things, like you hear people say good things about Sean. I'm sure Sean, a lot of people probably do like Sean, but you hear a lot of bad things about Sean. A lot of it came from the past. Triple H,
a whole lot of it recently.
Triple H,
too.
you go, like, all of these people left WWE because of Vince. And now look at all these people that want to come back to the WWE because of Triple H. And
really
I think
true.
that says a lot.
I do kind of think the difference in Sean and Vince, Hunter, when it comes to that, is Sean still has that shithead streak because he's just a kind of a selfish.
I think Sean's got a lot more to like make up for in his past.
He's got more to make up for, but he's also still like, I've heard how he acts sometimes. Like you can hear people talk about some of the things he says backstage, and it's like, oh, he's still kind of a dick. But it's much less of a problem, and he's probably easier to work with now because he's like, oh, I just can make money. I don't have to be the guy on top anymore.
Yeah,
I'm in a place where I'm just making hand over fist. It doesn't matter at this point. So, like, he knows where he's at's good, so it's a lot less. With Triple H, it does seem like he got more into, like, the dad mode of everything.
Yeah.
Where everything is just dad. Like, seeing him, who was it? Was it Dakota Kai that tore her ACL in the comeback match right after she tore an ACL? Like, the other knee she tore?
Yeah.
And she's, like, in the back, obviously upset and hurt and in pain. And all she's doing the whole time is, like, apologizing to Hunter.
Yeah.
When Hunter wasn't, like, in charge of NXT, and it's like, you can see him immediately go into dad mode because he's like, hey, this is not your fault, it's fine. And, like, really trying to, like, make her feel better. It's just, you got hurt, it happens, you can't help that all the time. Like, you landed weird, it's fine. You could see it. So it's like one of those things, I look at him and I go, he's probably better, but I still have that weird in the back of my head, like, how much of this is BS? Because there's got to be part of it that's BS. It can't be all correct, but he's probably better than he is not.
But to jump back to the Royal Rumble, we've got two more matches.
Way off.
It's fine.
Way off.
It's fine. As I said, since the Royal Rumble was a little different because, like, there's just so many people and everything else.
There's so much shit happening.
But
that this is a little bit easier.
The next match was the men's Elimination Chamber for the United States Championship, which I still think that was a wonderful idea. I really loved that. We had Austin Theory, Montez Ford, Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins. It was just fantastic. It was such a good match. It was amazing, almost start to finish.
Like, it was actually better. Like, I've not said this recently about a lot of things, but it was better than the women's.
I think this is the best Elimination Chamber match that I've seen since, like, back in the day when
like
the Elimination Chamber was new.
First started,
right?
It was like a big deal. Yeah, there were some really cool ones. And there's like been some cool spots and some other ones, but this was actually really good start to finish. There's been a few of those.
There was some strongman spots in that match that were so awesome. Freaking Bronson Reed, poor guy. It's like nobody knows who he is, so he doesn't really get a reaction. They put him in this match, and he fucking kills it. He picks up, who was it? Did he pick up Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory at the same time? Was it them two? I don't remember.
Yes, because, well, maybe.
Well, regardless, he had two people on his shoulder at the same time. And he did like a Samoan drop to two people at once. And then, after that, you had the opposite. You had Austin Theory literally pick up Bronson Reed. Like, he was struggling hard. His legs were shaking, but god damn it if he did not get Bronson Reed up on his shoulders.
I thought he was going to, like, pop a hamstring.
Oh my god, that was incredible.
Tear a quad while he's, like, squatting Bronson Reed.
Right.
That's all right. When I looked at Bronson Reed, I thought it was Jeff Cobb. Definitely get the picture for that. It looked exactly the same. Anyways,
the great thing about that match is, like, there were so many random, like, wild card, like, this whole match, most of the people in the match felt it felt like they didn't, like, I don't know, they didn't go and get, like, all of the top talent and put in this match.
No,
they got a bunch of, like, wild card people, and the whole match highlighted every single person in it so wonderfully. Everybody did so fantastic. Johnny Gargano, I really wish he would have been in that match longer because he was so freaking good.
He's always good. And really what that match was, it was the entire mid card.
Yeah.
It was just the entire mid card, which works because it was fun.
And then, well, you had Seth Rollins in there just as the big guy.
Where Seth
Rollins, he had the thing with
Seth Rollins
Austin Theory.
Perpetually, he's always the lowest.
You've got to have Seth Rollins at pay-per-view. It's required.
He's lower. The lowest he goes on the card is lower mid card, or upper mid card. I mean, that's the lowest. He's always at the top, either upper, like main event, upper card guy, or he's up at the top of the mid card. He's the head of that. So he's in there. You had to find the entire mid card division, and that was it. So there was a bunch of guys that were like, well, everybody knows they're good, I guess, other than Bronson Reed because nobody remembers who he is. But everyone's like, well, these guys are really good, I guess, but what are we gonna do with them? Well, we're gonna put them in a badass match, and it was awesome. Everybody got to look good. Bronson Reed looked strong. Damian Priest looked like he was badass. Everybody looked good.
It was Seth Rollins and Johnny Gargano. That's who Reed had on his shoulders.
That's right. Okay.
I couldn't remember which two he had. But remember when Montez Ford tried to do the people's elbow?
Oh yeah,
he got interrupted in the middle by Reed. Yeah.
That was good.
That was great. Rollins attempted that powerbomb at the top of the pod to Johnny Gargano, and Gargano reversed it into a Rana off the top, which also looked kind of scary.
That was sketchy. The whole thing was really sketchy.
Man. Freaking Damian Priest took out Gargano with Razor's Edge, and what did we ended up? The end, we ended up with what we thought.
Right.
Austin Theory and Seth Rollins.
Oh no.
And Montez Ford, he had just gotten the stomp by Seth Rollins on the ropes, and they had
not on the ropes, through the ropes.
Well, he was hanging off the ropes.
The metal grate on the
that was a fucking mat. Walkway. That is a goddamn mat.
It is a mat, but they try and tell you it's metal. Come on.
It used to be metal. Now it's a mat because everybody is a pussy now.
You're ruining it. That's not. You know better. You're like, how thick is that, Matt?
How dare anybody be safe? Safety is stupid.
Oh, safety blows, ruins everything.
But they play off this fake injury angle with Montez Ford that was really weird, and I don't know. I wasn't a fan of that. And
was it really weird or really dumb?
It was dumb. It was dumb.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Obviously, it was blatantly obvious that this whole thing was a setup because they needed a way to open the cage door, and that was how they did it. They had Montez Ford. He kayfabed an injury, and then the referees had to open the door, and he took the most time I have ever seen anybody ever to walk out of anything. And then as soon as he gets to the door, he just like collapsed, and he's just like sitting there. And since it took him 30 minutes to get out, that gave Logan Paul enough time to run in there with the cage door open to give a buckshot lariat, which we're officially going to start calling the pump and dump. to Seth Rollins, and then the stomp, and Theory retained. So it was like, it was a 5-star match with a WWE finish. So I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So if you hear me say from now on, oh look, Hangman Page with the pump and dump, that's because it's his fault. He literally taught this to the fucking biggest piece of shit in the world. Well, maybe not the biggest. Kind of the biggest. Anyway, one of the biggest. And now he uses it, and now I have to call it the pump and dump. This is your fault, Adam. This is your fault. You're already on my shit list, dude. You're just making it worse.
But this was an easy 5-star, 10 out of 10 fucking match.
Oh, it was a banger.
An A+. But the finish, it takes 5.5 off everything. A-, 4.5, 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5, 9.5, somewhere in there. So, yeah, that's about right. I'm with you, because it was really good.
Yeah, it was really great.
Fun.
And I'm not even that upset about him not winning cleanly. I just really hate how they did it. I don't know.
I just hate that it's Logan Paul still. But you know what's funny about that is I will say this, and I'll be, again, this is me admitting things on video, on sound. That's fun. But this is like, I'm all right with Logan Paul. I'm not like super happy about him being there, but yeah, Homeboy at least looks like he's taking it serious. Yeah, at least he's trying to do good stuff.
It seems like he wants to do shit.
Yes, he wants to work, and he's doing it, and he looks like he's putting in time, and he's talking to all these people, and it seems like he's being respectful to the people that he's working with more than anything. Because even when he talks to people like on podcasts, he seems really good. Like no weird stuff, and everything you hear him say about it's fine. So if this is the one thing that he like takes serious, and it's something that I don't know if I take it entirely serious, because it is still wrestling, but like if I'm something that I'm into and he's not like shitting on it, I'm not gonna talk shit. I'm not super happy about it.
Yeah,
but it'll be him and Seth Rollins will probably be fun.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll do great.
It'll be fine. So whatever, we just got a WWE finish, so it automatically has to get hit by at least half a point.
Well, they made, I think it was Meltzer, or it was either Meltzer or Alvarez, I think. I don't remember who said it exactly, but he made a good point. The people like that are not wrestling people, that are Logan Paul people, would absolutely fucking love Seth Rollins. Because of the way he acts, the way he dresses, and that kind of shit.
You are totally on point. Like, when you say that you put him with Logan Paul,
it's low-key genius.
That's perfect. It's genius. It's exactly who needs to be there to get people to go, hey, maybe wrestling's kind of fun. Seth Rollins is really kind of weird and goofy.
Right.
I mean, I guess we can see what else is here, and they might like it. It's a good way to draw in people to wrestling. Like I said, I understand why they're doing it, and it's not like he's taking it like entirely lightly. It's not like getting like Seth Rollins and Jackass. Was that Seth Rollins? That was Seth Rollins, wasn't it?
It was Sami Zayn. It was Jackass.
Oh my god, it was Sami Zayn. Oh my god.
That was one of the funny things about, they were showing those video packages, like the series video packages. And like during one of the video, like the series video package with like the epic music and whatnot, they showed the clip of fucking Sami Zayn trapped in the giant mouse trap. And I'm like, man, this is really kind of killing the vibe right now.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe showing him getting hit by the comically large hand is a good idea for this serious thing about the fact that he hit somebody who he's supposed to love. It's fine. It's okay. It'll be all right. But no, I think that the ending it's fine.
It was a better ending than the Brock Lesnar match, at least. I'm so sick of these endings. I don't know. But
I'm sorry. Are you tired of wrestling as a whole?
Yes, fuck wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh my god, we're already ending this. See, guys, we're breaking up right now. It's not happening.
That leads us to the last match of the night. It was a whole thing.
It was a lot of.
It was like, it wasn't even a match really. It was just them telling a story. in the arena.
It was really good, especially for a Roman match.
Like, even if you look at it and like all the stuff that they did, nothing that they did was inherently like amazing. But it was all the way that they told the story that they were doing and how they did everything was just wonderful.
Again, this is a whole lot of me having to eat my words. I give Roman a lot of shit all the time. Roman did really good. Everything Roman did was perfect.
The suspense and the build-up for the match itself was just wild.
Just them walking around, staring at each other.
This is I mentioned this on the live stream yesterday, but like when Roman Reigns came out, they actually turned his music down on the stream so that you could hear the crowd erupt in boos. And they did the same thing in Sami's entrance so that you could hear the crowd just lose their fucking mind as he came out. Loved that. And then
Sami's in Montreal with his Worlds Apart theme. Yes. As a baby face.
And they both get in the ring.
Get the biggest pop?
And stand there for like what felt like 5-10 minutes of just standing there doing nothing. And this was after the bell rang. Just like kind of taking everything in. The crowd is just like this is the Montreal crowd, and this wasn't even just the pay-per-view. It was also SmackDown. That crowd was so alive.
They were just out there just yelling. It was fantastic. Like they were Montreal and Canada's usually a really good crowd anyways.
Yeah.
They have the Canadian crowds have a tendency of taking over a taping or an event of some sort, because they will just say whatever they want to. Somebody will start chanting it and they'll all do it. They don't care what it is, whether it's "fuck you Roman" on SmackDown. They don't.
Which
give a shit.
We got the "fuck you Roman" chants again at the pay-per-view.
And those were turned up very.
We could hear them this time.
They were definitely prominent. We all heard that.
I didn't get to see them because when they put it back up on Hulu, they edited them all out.
Oh, that's funny. No, it was there.
They piped crowd noise over the actual show crowd to make it sound like just regular like crowd, which I thought was kind of funny.
That's hilarious. That's very WWE.
Right.
But yeah, no, it was cool. It was good. Like I said, I give Roman Reigns a lot of shit, but I think also it's been one of those things where I just get tired of Roman Reigns very quickly.
Right.
And there's. I won't even say he's bad. Obviously, he's at the top for something.
Well, it's like as I said,
not just because
what we were talking about last night, where the whole bloodline is hogging any progression.
Yes,
it's the progression of
just a roadblock.
of building up people and whatnot is on hold right now because nobody can win the titles because of Roman's long reign right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's like I said,
and it leaves literally the outcome of every match. Like it's like, Roman Reigns is defending his title at this pay-per-view. It's like, who gives a shit, because we know he's going to win, right?
Right. Where are we going with it? What's it going to matter? What are we doing? We've literally, this is again, and I say this repeatedly, and I've said this a million times. I said it before, just a few minutes ago. Vince booked us into a corner with Roman Reigns. Yep. What are we supposed to do with it?
We got to get out of it. We're so close. We're so close. Unless Triple H decides to not take the belts off of him at WrestleMania.
April 1st or 2nd, that would be the worst April Fool's joke ever. I would literally.
Oh my God. What if they. All right. This is how we would know if Vince is back. What if they have the match on April 1st and then Cody doesn't win? And then afterwards, just like, April Fools, we're going to run the match back again tomorrow.
Well, I already made this joke once. I will eat this literal unfired bullet that is in my hand. I will bite the bullet off it and eat it. Break every tooth in my fucking mouth out of frustration for that shit. I will never watch again if we get a Vince swerve and it's obvious that Vince is back. I'll be like, nope, we're done here. Never again. This is what you get. Never again. I say that, but now I know I'm gonna watch it because I want to do these shows. So, anyways, no, dude, it's oh God, that makes me hurt. I can't believe I said that.
There was a lot of, like, as I said, like I felt the match was such a slow burn because both people were both Roman and Sami were just taking in the crowd. Like, Sami was taking all the cheers, and then Roman did a bunch of taunting of the crowd. He even taunted Sami's wife, which got the crowd even more enraged.
Multiple times.
And we had, I think the first like big thing that happened was Roman missed the Superman punch, and that eventually led to Sami getting into the corner and doing the fist cock thing, and he goes and actually hits Roman with the Superman punch, and then with a Helluva kick. And Roman still kicks out.
Yep.
There was literally like 3 or 4 times in that match where I was fully convinced that Sami won. It's like, in my mind, I knew, like everybody knew, that he was not going to win. And still, I was watching that match and was convinced multiple times that he
I was like, are they really gonna do this? Like,
oh, we had he nailed the 2 exploders into the corner. Roman Reigns misses a spear, and that was what led up to the Superman punch, then the Helluva kick, and probably the best false finish of the match. That was, I was, as I said, I was fully convinced it was done there, and they were actually going to give him the belts. Crazy. Oh, and then immediately after that, the fight started going outside the ring, and Roman Reigns once again misses another spear and crashes through that one barricade that seems to just always never be connected. That's kind of funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always funny.
It seems to be always that one barricade for some reason. That's kind of wild. I wonder if there's something to that. But he spears himself right into that. Oh, and then what do you even call it, that dive that Sami did between the turnbuckles? What is that even called?
He just
is that called a thing?
Well, no. What he was doing, he tries to dive and come around with like a tornado DDT. So
like that would have been sick.
Though he's done it, he used to do it all the time. So it's something that he does, and he just got, blocked by it. So he was gonna do the tornado DDT through the turnbuckle.
But after that, they get back in the ring. Sami gets the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yes.
And Roman kicks out again. It's just like they were toying with us so hard. But what I love about this match is this match was like, you could like this was like, as I said, like nothing. The match itself, they didn't do any like crazy spots or anything for the most part. It was just the way that they told the story of all of this, and how like he just kept getting like closer and closer to getting Roman. So finally, we got ref bump number 1, and I feel like at this point in the match, what we're seeing is literally a direct copy of what happened at the last pay-per-view. It's almost copy-paste.
Yeah.
Ref goes down, and then they bait us this time, which is a little bit of a change, but still same outcome. They bait us with the ref bump, and they get another ref out there after, I don't remember what happened. I think, did he spear Sami? I think he speared Sami.
Yes.
I think he speared Sami after the first ref bump, and Sami actually kicked out, which that right there was shocking. That right there, like I was convinced it was done there. I can't believe Sami kicked out of that. But regardless, we ended up getting a second ref bump because that seems to be the only thing that WWE knows how to do in these kind of matches. And that's when Roman's like, Paul, you get me a goddamn chair, you fat piece of shit, right now. He said that verbatim into the microphone. He whipped out a microphone, and he's like, you fat piece of shit in that blue suit, you carny motherfucker, get me a chair. That was exactly what he said.
Yeah, it was.
And then
it was hilarious.
He goes and gets a chair, and fucking that was at the point when Jimmy came out, right?
I thought it was.
I'm trying to remember the layout of how everything happened.
I don't remember exactly.
I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, Paul Heyman got the chair. He got the thing, and that was when Jimmy came to the ring.
Mm-hmm. That was when he was standing between.
Or no, that was when Jay. Shit, no, Jimmy came out before that. That was when Jay came out of the ring.
That was Jimmy doing the stuff to get Roman a 2 count. So
yes. So Jimmy, I forgot about, like, Jimmy comes out and like he intervenes in the match, and Sami still like prevails. But then the Paul Heyman gets Roman Reigns a chair during the second ref bump. That's when Jay comes out, and we have, like, as I said, a literal exact repeat of the last pay-per-view. Roman Reigns has the chair. Jay is standing between the two.
Yep.
And Roman holds the chair out just like he did for Sami. Told Jay to do it. And Jay had the chair. Once again, Roman Reigns stood right in between him and Sami, just like he did with Sami in KO. And Jay looked like he was going to do it. He looked right at Roman like he was going to go for it. And he dropped the chair in the ring and then left. So they're just teasing us. They're fucking teasing us. Just let it happen.
That's not what happened. Didn't he spear Jimmy?
No.
Or Jay?
No, that was Sami. Yeah. No, Sami speared Jay.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. That happened after Roman was in between the two.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say that makes sense.
And after that was when Sami accidentally, because Roman was doing as I said, it was like a repeat. He had the chair out, and then Roman started like getting aggressive and like pushing him in his face.
Right.
Just like
I'm early on that.
Right. He started pushing him in the face just like he did with Sami during the chair spot in the last one. And when he was distracted, Sami tried to spear Roman. Roman moved and accidentally speared Jay. And then Roman got the chair and just beat the shit out of Sami. And
the absolute hell.
He just beat the shit out of him, and then finally Roman got the spear, and they got it's actually crazy how he went to pin him, and all of a sudden the referee was just good to go in there. Isn't that wild?
I don't know.
Wildly convenient,
really
isn't it?
Slow, but it was very convenient. Weird. I don't know. I think it's funny that we got Vince Russo booking in 2 of the matches. We got it at the the Lesnar match, and we got it in this one. Just ref bumps and low blows. That's the Vince Russo playbook. But I mean, where did Vince Russo learn it from? It was from Attitude Era, WWE. So that's fine.
But after 3 referees,
it was really good. The ending obviously was going to be fuckery. We all knew.
You know what?
Sammy was going to get
me angry, right?
Rub, but not win.
This is what makes me angry. As I've said several times, like this was a literal copy paste of the last one, and I feel like that should piss me off because they didn't do anything different. It was the same goddamn thing. But like I didn't hate it. Even though it was literally, it was an identical setup to the last pay-per-view, just involving different people, or but it was like still didn't hate it, and I feel like I should. So Roman wins. Jimmy and Roman beat the shit out of Sami. Everybody in the crowd and watching at home is impatiently awaiting Kevin freaking Owens. He was not there at the pay-per-view. I don't know when. I don't think he's been on TV even since the last pay-per-view. And
we're all just waiting. Think he's been on TV.
We're all just waiting because, like they're in Montreal. There's literally zero shot that Kevin Owens is not coming out. Right? Like it has to happen. If it doesn't, they will literally burn that place to the ground. And finally, the music hits. There he is. He comes out. He helps. And instead of getting the friendship embrace in the ring with tears that I requested about 15 times last night, Kevin Owens just walks out. He looks at Sami, walks out, and that was the end of it.
So as it should be.
So everything. Well, yeah, no, I agree. I think that was a better way to do it than doing the embrace and shit right now, right?
It needs a little time.
It needs more time in the oven.
It does. It needs. What is it? Let them cook.
Let them cook.
Let them cook.
Let them cook.
Let them cook, man. It'll be fine.
We're again, like, they're just building the suspense. Everything is so close to falling apart. Every damn show is just a little bit closer, but not quite there. But they did say that this is the last pay-per-view till WrestleMania.
So we got a month and a half till WrestleMania. We got time. We're gonna be good.
And I think
there's gonna be some fun stuff. We're just gonna get weekly television, and then April 1st is gonna hit, and everything will make sense by then, I'm sure.
Right.
It's looking like it's already making sense. Everything kind of, well, even if we don't know where it's going, there are logical paths, and even the ones that we're not thinking of, it's very easy for them to get somewhere good. Like, I think there's a slow build out of that corner that was booked into.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So we're getting there. I think by April 1st, April 2nd will be
especially there. Now that we know that there's not another pay-per-view for WrestleMania. I think this makes even more sense.
Helps.
So it's like
that helps.
I think this was it. Like we'll start to see shit kind of falling, because now we're stuck with like Jay still not knowing what he wants to do, but now Sami got accidentally speared Jay, so that could mess things up. But I guess that would be that basically wraps up the show. There wasn't really anything that happened after that for the most part, but we move on over to WrestleMania 39 in April. So as of right now, the 3 matches that are confirmed: Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's title, Asuka, Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's title. And I think after tonight, or after last night, that it's obviously not confirmed, but like, let's be real, like it's gotta be happening. But we've got John Cena versus Austin Theory for the United States title match. I think that is very probable to happen, especially after the media scrum thing. And this has been something that's been going back and forth on the internet and rumors and all this shit for like a freaking year. And
well, it's ever since Vince got a hold of Austin Theory,
right?
And everybody, the backstage mentality of it was, oh, Vince thinks this is next Cena.
Yeah.
So automatically, I mean, you kind of compare the two anyways. They have, they're kind of this similar looking guys ish, like close. Obviously, they're a little bit different, but we're both young.
Mm-hmm.
They both are very good on the mic, despite all the shit I want to give John Cena and the fact that I'm not a big fan, but undeniable talent in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Even if you can hear him call the match from the rafters. So, you take the good with the bad. It's a grain, a little bit of a grain of salt and stuff. But he's good. So the comparison was going to happen, and it's going to be fun. So I think that's what gets booked, I think
that would, like, I'm not even sure really what else you would do with that at this point.
I think that would be
be perfect.
I mean, who are you gonna put there with the United States? Because I think it's WrestleMania. You obviously have to have United States Championship match. What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna put them with?
Yeah, that would be the way to do it.
One of the other guys that we've already do. Mm-hmm. So, and there's got to be one of those old guy coming back to wrestle thing, not just Edge or something like that, like somebody else that doesn't wrestle all the time. They always kind of do that, build up a legend, and who better than John Cena? He's got outside Hollywood influence now, so now he's got that. Bring him in, and then we can bring The Rock in finally, but at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
and he can beat Roman Reigns or lose to Roman Reigns, whichever one. I don't care.
Well, the next, especially after this pay-per-view, the next unconfirmed match that will more than likely happen, I would say, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos for the Undisputed Tag Titles, or whether or not it's the Undisputed Tag Titles or just the Raw or just the SmackDown or whatever. But regardless, I think we'll see that tag match happen at WrestleMania more than likely. I just don't. It makes the most sense, especially if WrestleMania is supposed to be the cap on the end of the bloodline. Like, who the fuck else is going to take those belts off the Usos?
Well, here's a booking. Who do you think should take the one for Raw?
For Raw? I don't even know.
Who's the tag teams there? We don't know.
None of them.
Not off the top of my head.
The only tag team
the only thing
that I want to see with belts right now is Imperium, and they're SmackDown. So,
well, then move Sami over to Raw with Kevin, and they can take the Raw one.
That's what I was. That's what I was saying. Like I would like to see them take just the Raw belts.
Yeah.
If they, because we've still got over a month, right? And like, it is very possible that they could lose those SmackDown titles before WrestleMania.
Well, I think that they should. I think you should do make it a little more believable, and kind of break down the dynamic between Jimmy and Jay a little bit.
Yeah.
The way that you book that is, the first night you have them lose to Imperium. Second night you have them lose to Sami and.
Yeah, you could do that. They could do it that way as well.
Because that would make it to where, it still makes the Usos look good, but they've just their numbers up because they already have a bad dynamic right now.
Yeah,
you can't really trust each other, and Roman's on their back about shit. So they lose the first night, they lose the second night, and now they got to rebuild. And those two will stick together because they're twins.
Right.
They're not going to not stick together. They'll get over it really quickly. You have them mope around for a couple weeks being mad at each other, and then they're back together. And then Roman has to deal with everything else. He's going to lose his title. We all know he's going to lose the title. We all know it's going to Cody Rhodes, and if it doesn't, that's a huge missed opportunity.
I agree, 100%. That is the time. That's the time to do it. It should have been the time to do it last year. And now we've got a whole nother year. But to be fair, if it happened last year, we wouldn't have gotten all this good shit this year. So I can't really complain.
We got a slow build on the.
In the end, it really worked out for the best.
It did, and I think that what's going to happen is we're going to get the Cody thing. We're going to get it at WrestleMania, which is a fucking fantastic idea.
Yeah,
and we're going to get to rehab Roman Reigns. Maybe maybe I'm just not a Roman Reigns guy, but I know that a lot of people like him. And at this point, I think if we at least rehab him, maybe I won't be so against Roman Reigns.
He could also
if we do
take
a little
time
bit
off because it was what,
He's
like I think it was
anyways.
about like a year or so ago where he started doing less house shows and less shows in general. So it may be like when he loses the titles, this may be a way to write him off TV for a bit.
Give him a month off or so.
Yeah.
And let him maybe don't let him do matches like he's been doing or anything. Just let him go and do whatever, and then they can build towards what are we gonna do? The tribal chiefs are mad at you. Hey, The Rock has had time to get in shape for SummerSlam. Do you want to do you versus The Rock on SummerSlam? I think it's a cool idea.
Once in a lifetime.
Well, okay, maybe. I'm sure there'll be two Samoans.
Twice in a lifetime. Maybe
fucking,
thrice in a lifetime.
It's been more than that. Just look at New Japan. There's Samoans beating the shit out of each other every night. It's fine. We'll see more of them. I mean, we still have Bronson Reed and Jeff Cobb and the Usos. And, we still have Solo Sikoa.
Right. Which,
Sikoa,
as far as everything going with the bloodline,
you want to have a United States
that
thing,
is the only person that what the fuck do you do unless you just kind of like everybody else breaks off and then you put him in like the mid-card slot for
you make him
the Intercontinental title.
You just make him exactly what isn't it Umaga his dad or his uncle?
Well, I'm not sure.
No, because is he the Usos' brother?
I don't know.
Why don't
who
I know
Uso
this?
is, or I don't know who Solo is in the family tree.
I can't remember. It's always because you can always just look up the Inoue family. They have their own family tree on Wikipedia.
If I were booking an Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania against Gunther, I think Solo would be a good pick. I don't know. I think
Solo would be a really
I think
good
the
one.
list right now for people to go up against Gunther is a small list because of how fucking much Gunther is killing it right now and his streak. I think Solo would probably be a good pick.
Yes.
But another
there's Jimmy and Jay's brother. He's Rikishi's dad.
Yeah.
Son.
Yeah.
Rikishi's his dad. So yeah, he's kind of got his uncle Umaga. He's kind of got that look going to him and that the Samoan spike and everything. So just make him a more like modern, more badass, even more badass Umaga, and just let him go.
Well,
It'll be fun.
I've got 3 more matches that I think that could be a thing at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. I think that one's pretty much guaranteed to happen. I think the build-up for that has been a little bit slower than I have wanted, but maybe now Elimination Chamber is over. Maybe now we'll see more on TV.
Well, we're gonna see more because, like I said, Rey is still dealing with
Karrion Kross.
And Karrion Kross was giving him shit about Dominic,
which is annoying. But like, I don't hate it, so I guess I can't really complain.
Karrion Kross is just looking for victims at this point to move on up, but if he beats a legend, it makes him look good. That's the way they're thinking.
The second one is Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, not confirmed, but like, it's happening. Let's be real. If any out of all the matches that I have said right now, that is the one that is most certainly happening.
That's happening immediately. That's not anywhere near anything. That's happening.
It's not confirmed, but it's confirmed. it's happening, exactly. Especially after last night. The other one I had a thought about that I actually think could happen is Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Damage Control for the women's tag titles. That is something I think we could see at WrestleMania, because they've been doing that shit. I don't know that I would hate that bad, but I'd be down.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of soured on Damage Control at this point.
I think a lot of people
are. I don't know why. And it's not their fault.
I think I liked the idea of it, but I don't think it's hit as hard as it should have.
It didn't. You're right, and I think that's part of the problem. Is all that. I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. I don't want to hate it, but I do. I can't tell you why.
And there's two more, one with various scenarios that could be possible. I think this is probably lower on the list than some of the other ones, but Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. It seems like that's being set up for that, but you gotta remember, Bray Wyatt issued a challenge to whoever won the match at Elimination Chamber, and the match ended up in fuckery. So I imagine Bray Wyatt is to be involved in that somehow. But I don't know that I see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. I mean, I guess it could happen, but I would imagine something will happen before then with Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, and then Bray Wyatt will face whoever. But at the same time, like, I feel like it would be a waste if they didn't do an actual match of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. So something involving those three is going to happen at WrestleMania, I would imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of burnt out right now. I don't know.
And the other one,
so much going on, it's just hard to keep up with, and I don't know where I feel about everything.
The other one,
what I'm at. I don't know.
This is creative. This is a creative one that this is kind of like this is definitely a fantasy match, but I would be down if it happened. Fucking Edge and Finn Balor. They've had this thing going, and like they continue that tag match. We put the cap on this feud at WrestleMania, but we have it be the Demon Finn Balor versus Brood Edge. Let's do that. Fuck the Judgment Day.
He could still be Demon Finn Balor in the Judgment Day. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but as long as he doesn't wear the Jamiroquai hat and pants.
The Jamiroquai hat and pants is excessive. I don't know what made him think a bucket hat was a good idea. He is, and especially a fuzzy one. He is not. He is. Jake Hager. He is not. I love this hat.
I love this hat. So good.
It is hilarious. But no, he's not. It's not. Why? Okay. Why did he go from being the coolest guy in the room to looking like my fucking brother? He looks like a coach. He looks like every late 20s, early 30s basketball coach that I see.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he reminds me of now. He stopped being cool guy with the leather jacket. Balor Club is for everyone. I'm a badass. And even when he went back to Prince Balor, like when he brought the Prince gimmick in and he was a heel, he was the coolest guy in the room. He was a badass. He was the Prince. He was a scary dude. Now he's a fucking joke. Everything about the Judgment Day has just been a joke from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Well, I hate to even say this, but the best part about the Judgment Day has been Dominic Mysterio, and I fucking hate
Dominic and Rhea are automatically the best thing about the Judgment Day, and honestly, intellectually, they're the worst part of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
But I love them so much. They're hilarious. And Dominic is, and I know that his family, Eddie's family, was not happy about this, but he's giving off some real Eddie energy, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Just we'll repeat it. Let Dominic cook. Let him cook, man. He'll be good. He's got all the stuff that we saw his dad and Eddie deal with in Mexico and in the Indies and Texas and California, he's dealing with on national television. So I want to say, I
everybody's fucking
Dominic sucks, but he sucks right now.
He sucks.
He'll be good.
But like the whole like the Eddie Guerrero light thing is working, and everybody loves it so much.
Eddie Guerrero light is what you call it, because he's not Eddie. He's never gonna be Eddie, and Dom would tell you he's never gonna be Eddie.
Yeah.
Can he pull some Eddie tricks? Oh God, yes. If there's anybody that can get away with pulling Eddie stuff, it's Dom. Dom should be allowed to.
Yeah.
Because as close as that they are, they're that he should be allowed to be that as a heel. And when he goes babyface, he can be babyface like his dad.
Yeah.
Didn't work for him, but he'll be able to get there when he gets there.
Once he gets past his prison phase.
His whole prison phase and this whole teething thing, it's easier to make him look like a dork than it is to make him look badass, because you can't make a kid who doesn't know what he's doing look like a badass. You can only make him look like a dork. So right now, he's just a dork, and he'll get better. And I'm glad that they're just, lead into it. Be a fucking nerd. You're fine. It's been the best part of Judgment Day, because Damian Priest doesn't do anything for me, and I do not like this version of Balor.
It kind of sucks because like Judgment Day had so much potential to be awesome, but Vince tried to ruin it with the supernatural shit. So Edge didn't want to do that, and then literally right after that whole thing where Edge like left Judgment Day because he didn't want to fuck with that because he thought it was stupid. Like shortly after that, that's when Vince left and Triple H took control. So it's like, fuck.
And
it's like almost if they would have held out just a little bit longer.
Shit. Yeah.
If they would have held out a little bit longer and like kept Edge in there, like that would have been cool. But we got some good shit out of him leaving, so I can't really complain.
I don't like any of it. But I'm not really big on the whole Judgment Day thing. I think it's dumb. I think if
I like anything, it, I just think they've done it weird.
They have, and I think that's part of it.
Adding Dominic was what made it weird and dumb, but at the same time, it also made it more entertaining to watch.
When he first got added, it was annoying and stupid and didn't make any sense. But as they leaned harder into Dominic being a nerd and kind of a dork and just a young kid not knowing what he's doing, the more they leaned into that, the more like, no, this makes sense. This works. This is a better dynamic. It's just the two weak links in this are Damian Priest again. I hate to say I'm not a fan of him. He's just weird to me. And then this version of fucking Finn. That's it. Just bring back the Prince. Damn it. Tired of it. Bring back. You know what?
Just literally split them up and just leave Dominic and Rhea together.
Oh, that's all you need. Just Dom and Rhea together. They're fantastic.
And have Damian and Finn go back to doing mid-card shit.
Well, have Finn go wherever he wants. Finn Balor can do whatever. He can be top.
Well,
of the card
I think the main event tier of the card is very much preoccupied right now.
A little stacked,
right?
But we can do it later. He's fine. Finn is good wherever he goes. He'll be fine. But yeah, no, they just need to get it over with. It's fine. It'll work. But it's just annoying.
Well, next up on the agenda, we've got all of the news stuff that happened over the last week. I guess there was some exciting stuff. A lot of not that exciting stuff. A lot of more of like the same kind of rumor stuff. But
yep.
One of my favorite things that happened this week was that goddamn basketball shot that The Miz got. If anybody has not seen that, that is literally one of the most amazing things that I have ever seen in my entire life.
That was. There's no way.
Everybody like the camera panned over everybody's faces and everybody's jaws were just dropped in shock.
Like legends, NBA legends are staring at this.
It was whatever,
what
like the celebrity all-star basketball game or whatever it was called. I don't. But like, there was literally no time left. Like they were down like the last few seconds. The Miz shoots a shot from the half-court line and makes it, which would have gotten them enough points to tie the game and go into overtime. But it didn't count, just barely. And it makes me so sad. I wish it's like times like this where like it's NBA and like other sports needs to be like WWE. Just like swerve the rules to make everybody happy and make everything more interesting to watch.
You gotta go.
It's like, well, he didn't quite make it, but we'll let it slide this time because this is awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem with like major sports in general, like the replay shit. Like going back and doing replay, it's like you change stuff. But there was so much fun in like old sports when you would see something like he clearly stepped out of bounds on the replay, but they're not reviewing it because they didn't have a review yet. So you're just like pissed that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But or you're like super happy they didn't catch it. That would have been fun if they just allowed it to happen. It was fine.
And look, I guarantee I'm ready for Raw tomorrow because you absolutely know The Miz is gonna come out there with his little microphone and just tell everybody all about it and how he was robbed. He will never let anybody live this down. Like he will bring this up like every week for like the rest of his life. But if anybody has not seen that clip, I implore you to watch it because it is incredible.
Yes. It is really good.
Of all people that could have pulled that shit off, it was
had
the
to be
fucking
him.
Miz. That's just crazy.
It had to be him. That's what it is. It had to be him.
Well, another random piece of news. Bryan Danielson really wants to go work the G1 Climax.
Which I think he should.
But Tony Khan seems to be stopping him from doing so without directly saying it. Because what he said, quote wise, he said, to be honest, I think it'd be great in many ways, but Bryan Danielson, it's quite possible, could be the AEW World Champion. Either way, I mean, I think it'd be hard for him to disappear from the show, especially as AEW World Champion. I'm not sure he'll be able to get away from the show that much to go do the G1 Climax, which I guess is fair, but
when does the G1 start?
Realistically, that whole thing could have just been, you know, saying shit to make it sound like he was going to be the champion and be busy, but in reality he was going to lose. Like that could have just been Tony like talking the match up itself, and maybe it's not like actuality.
I mean, he's just basically what he's saying is he can't really do anything about it right now.
Right.
I mean, there's not really any way that he can say one way or another if he can go. Oh, I searched G1 Climax 2023, and the first thing that comes up is AEW's Bryan Danielson to work in New Japan Climax. I'm like,
because I know that was one of the big deals about him wanting to leave WWE, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the WWE said in the end that he could go do it if he wanted, work in Japan. But I think that was like a big thing for him, is he wanted to go do stuff in Japan as well as other stuff.
Yeah, so here's the deal. That doesn't happen until June 16th.
Right.
Oh wait, no, that's 2020. Why does it say 32? Why is it not?
As I said, I think realistically, it's probably just Tony Khan talking up the match as like this like thing where making it sound like Bryan Danielson could end up being the champion just to swerve everybody.
Yeah.
When MJF actually retains it.
Yes. But I also think that he's planning ahead and saying, do we put it on Nah, he's just kayfabing it. I don't know where I was going with that.
Right.
He's just kayfabing the shit out of it, which is fine, and that works. So I mean, we're still looking at like anywhere from, maybe next month, April to June is when it kind of looks like that happens. It used to be traditionally like April to Mayish.
Yeah.
So it just depends on when they want to do it, and usually it's summer, it seems. Now, they announced it 9th, and it took place from June 16th to August 18th last year. So you're probably looking at that. So we're so far in advance that we're just kayfabing the fact that maybe he wins, maybe he doesn't, and we don't know. So they're gonna put that out there when it comes up. So he'll be in the G1 climax. It'll be fine, and I think he'll be able to go even if he's the AEW World Champion. He'll be able to pull it off. He'll do something.
You're not wrong. But we've also this week got several bits of news and rumors regarding Matt Cardona going to WWE. I feel like that is like every day there's a new thing about Matt Cardona going to WWE. And then him talking about it. And then teasing everybody on Twitter with WWE related pictures and things like that.
QMJF, you fucking mom. Because that's exactly what everybody is whenever Matt Cardona comes up.
But
I let what happens with Matt Cardona happen. I don't like to speculate. I don't like to talk about it. Because at this point, Matt Cardona is just working the marks. That's all he's doing. He's just working exactly like he always has, or not always has, but like since he's left WWE, how he's got himself over and how he's looked like one of the best things in wrestling right now. So, yeah, who knows what he's going to do? He go back to WWE and be a big draw.
Right. He was on Matt Hardy's podcast the other day, and like they were talking about the transformation from Zack Ryder to Matt Cardona. And he said straight up that he, even before he got released, he knew that goofy shit had to go. He like the headband, the glasses, all of that. He grew the beard. He got more into shape. Like he knew before he was even released that shit needed to change.
The last years of Zack Ryder were actually kind of okay. Like he wasn't as goofy. He was just a baby face. So it wasn't like, woo 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 Zack Ryder. It was Zack Ryder and what's the other dude's name? The redheaded guy. I can't remember his name.
Murphy.
He's in Impact now. Yes, Murphy. Whatever his name was at the time. They
Buddy
were
Matthews,
in the
Murphy, whatever the hell.
No, not Buddy Murphy. No, not him. It was.
What are you talking about? Talking about Heath Slater?
Yeah, Heath Slater. He was in a tag team with Heath Slater.
Well, he was in a tag team with both those guys.
Yeah, well, no, he was in a tag team with Heath Slater, like near the end, especially, like right before Heath Slater got let go, anyways. But they were in a tag team where they just lost, and it was kind of a cool gimmick that they were just losers, and he was just trying to help his friend Heath Slater finally win after forever because he had the longest losing streak.
I love how
and it was a gimmick. It was fun.
Verbatim, like the first thing he said in this quote was, "I knew that woo 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 goofy shit had to change."
Oh yeah,
I just love that.
It's so bad.
It was cringe. It was cringe as fuck, but it worked for him at the time.
That man's entrance music had 2 intros.
Oh, radio, tell me everything you know.
Yeah, it had that plus the woo woo at the beginning. Oh god, that's so bad.
But he talks about the basically the turning point of his indies when he got presented the GCW deathmatch with Nick Gage. And he says, he's like, no fucking way, I'm not wrestling this fucking guy, this fucking criminal, the guy who's in Dark Side of the Ring, there's no fucking way I'm doing this backyard shit. And then I took a step back and said, well, it'll definitely create some buzz. People are going to want to see Zack Ryder get carved by Nick Gage. I didn't anticipate how much buzz it would create, and it changed everything for me. It changed my career and my life, and that's what I needed. And he's been riding off of that ever since, just freaking killing it.
He's the best because he was able to take that step back and go, wait a second, and look at this from a point of view of, I'm the Federation guy. I'm the bad guy, no matter where I go in the Indies.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the bad guy. Let's play into it. Now I'm the sports entertainer in GCW as the champion after, they let the carnies carve me up for a minute. It's fine. Like, that's a cool thing to think that he went like, no.
Yeah.
This will work. And it worked. It was perfect.
It was literally like, it changed everything for him.
It did.
That was the start of him. Yeah, that was the start of his, just being able to raise his stock like freaking Cody Rhodes did and FTR have done. Like, all of those dudes could go back to WWE right now and just be so fucking, they'd be on top because of what they've done outside of the WWE.
Right.
That shit always drives me insane. I know we had that comment on the live stream yesterday. But it's like, oh, he goes off in the indies and says, fuck WWE and comes back. It's like, he went out.
No.
He went out to the indies and AEW and worked his ass off, making his name, putting his name out there, raising his worth to everybody else, and put all this work in all of these years, and then came back. It wasn't just like he fucking left and then's like, oh, shit. They're going to give me how much money? Fuck it, I'll go back, whatever. Like,
you want to know what really pisses me off about that comment? It's because that's exactly what the fuck Sami Zayn did. He toiled away in a Ring of Honor and whatever indie he could go to as El Generico.
Yeah.
Finally gets a contract to the only game in the business at the time into WWE and gets ahead of like everything. Comes in and gets ahead of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And then Cody Rhodes leaves and makes himself known as something besides fuck. And you know what? Anybody in WWE would tell you, yeah, there's a reason he said fuck the WWE.
Yeah.
It's because it gets him over in the indies.
Yeah.
Because all those people hate the WWE. Or they did at the time even more. Or they wanted to like it, but they just felt, like disenfranchised by the whole thing. They didn't want to deal with it. They felt alienated by what was going on in the WWE. Didn't feel like it was anything that they liked as wrestling. So yeah, I'm going to run around saying fuck WWE because it gets me over. It makes me look good. And one day WWE is going to go, he makes a lot of money, right? Yeah. But he said fuck the WWE, but he makes a lot of money, right? Okay, good point. I guess we could hire him, which is exactly what happened.
The thing, it annoys me because it's not like these dudes like left or got released or whatever from the WWE and then just went off and just slacked off and did shit indie shows for several years and then come back and then are on top of the world. It's like, no, like they got themselves,
especially Cody,
right,
who had the balls to go with Tony Khan, which a lot of it's Tony Khan with the money, him and his dad, but him, Matt, Nick, Omega, Hangman, even Hangman being just involved with it at the very beginning and just following them. He was a big deal at the beginning because people were like, he's going to be the next big thing. Kind of faltered with some of the booking, but that's not his fault. They all took a chance and tried to make something. 3 years later, we're in the middle of something where it's actually viable to stay around.
I don't understand this,
fine. So he created that. He has backstage knowledge. He knows what's good. He's over. People want him to go do something, and he needed a change to make himself look better. Plus, WWE looked at it as, we have one of our people coming home. Somebody gets to come home and look good because they made themselves, like, that's a cool story in and of itself. He didn't get over in the WWE. He felt kind of screwed, so he worked hard, made himself look good, and comes back and wins and shows everybody that he was better than what they thought of him in the WWE. It's perfect. It's exactly what it needs to be.
These
so
people
anybody that thinks anywhere else are nuts.
These people are annoying because it's what I don't understand about this mindset, and it applies to not just wrestling, with other things as well.
Games,
whereas these people are like where is this loyalty to the brand? Like, you can't. It's like, oh, you're just gonna leave WWE and go to AEW. You're gonna go to AEW and WWE, or it's like that transfer over is like, oh, somebody's just gonna like leave Twitch to go to YouTube because of money. It's like, this is no different than somebody working at McDonald's and then going to Burger King to work instead. It's the same fucking thing. And I don't understand why people can't realize that in their brain. They're going to go to the place that will benefit them the most.
Yes.
This is no different than any other normal job, right?
Anything. Any of the people who have left at AEW recently, whether it be amicably or not, that said, I wasn't doing anything there, I needed to leave, so I got out of it. Fine. I mean, somebody like, what's her name? Big Swole or whatever it was?
Yeah.
She mouthed on the way out stuff that she still to this day thinks happened to her, even despite the fact that there is evidence showing otherwise. A whole racism deal to it that she said existed. There's obviously that's not true. So like she said all that, like that's the only person that I could think of where I'm like, you're stupid and you left for a dumb reason. Everybody else leaves and it's like, I get it, you were upset, it sucks that you left and I'm not happy about it, but go get over somewhere else. You're gonna be fine. It's like Bobby Fish wasn't happy, he wanted to go somewhere else. I hate that he's gone because I like him with Kyle and I like the Undisputed Era. I like them together. It's fun. And it sucks that they're not together and they're not going to be back together in AEW. But he's over in Impact and he actually just, did he wrestle? Yeah, he wrestled at the pre-show for Battle in the Valley for New Japan. So he's doing other stuff. He's happy. He's good. He's getting booked more like what he wants to be. There's other people that are like that left and they went somewhere else because they wanted to do something else and they're happier else.
Well, regardless of all that, the mindset shouldn't be what they have. The mindset should be that this is no different than any other job. You're going to go to the place that works best for you.
You're absolutely right. And here's that's another thing. You're upset that they're not in the place that you like. That sucks. Unfortunate. Right. You're not going to be able to see them in a place that you want them to be. The brand that you like. I'm sorry. It's not about you. You're just the guy watching.
Right.
This guy actually has to do this for a living, and he's doing this to make money. So yeah, people switching from AEW to WWE or back and forth. They're doing it because they want to be happy and make money. A lot of them. They're not happy where they're at, or they're getting paid more, or both. So that's what they're doing. If somebody left from Twitch to YouTube for the same reason, or back and forth the other way, it would be the same exact thing. Those people are doing what they feel is right for them, the people around them, and they're going for it. Just don't, I mean, if you don't want to watch them, don't watch them. You don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to.
Could you imagine somebody getting upset about their favorite Walmart cashier going to be a cashier at Target?
One of them leaves to go to someplace like Aldi's, which Aldi's pays like $15 an hour, lets him sit.
Well, I can't freaking sell out going to be a cashier at Aldi's.
You're gonna go get like a union job at Aldi's. What a piece of shit. I like Walmart better. Fuck off. I don't understand that, and it happens with everything. And you're right. It's stupid. Mind your own business. If you don't like where they're going, then don't watch it. They're not gonna know you exist most of the time. Most of them aren't gonna care that you're like, I can't stand your, like, you tweet them telling them that you're upset that they left whatever federation they're in or whatever place they're in to go somewhere else. Those people are muting you, and they rightfully should. Leave it alone. Stupid.
Well,
Want to talk about New Japan now that I brought it up, though?
Oh, I'll save that for the end because there's a bunch of that. But in traditional AEW fashion, we've got like a couple weeks before the pay-per-view, and we're just now starting to see matches for the match card. So
there was a lot of them we already knew were going to happen. We just didn't solidify them.
Well, so right now we've the AEW Championship Iron Man match. MJF and Bryan Danielson is a confirmed thing. That one's been confirmed for a while. We've now got Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page in a Texas Death Match. Do you know what that means?
I'm so in for that.
What is a Texas Death Match?
It's a death match.
But in Texas?
Yeah, because they're going to be in Texas.
Are they going to be in Texas?
Yeah, it's going to be in Texas.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess that makes sense. I didn't put any thought into it at all.
It's just add whatever state or city you're in. Death match.
Well, that's
just the what it'll be is it'll be a themed death match. There'll be like cowbells and horseshoes and like more barbed wire and a cow skull somewhere is what will happen.
That'll be, I'm assuming, the cap on that feud. This is like, what, the third time or so they fought each other?
I think this is the fourth time.
God, it's been so many times, but it should be great.
They had the actual first one when AEW started. They had the one where Hangman knocked himself out on the mat from the lariat.
Yeah.
And then they had the last one, which was a roll-up to set up this one for the death match.
Yeah.
And you know, we all got Evil Uno actually having a set of balls for the first time in a while, which was awesome.
Yes.
I love the Dark Order, and I love when they actually get kind of serious because you're like, oh, they actually kind of look angry, even the small one.
But the third match confirmed now is Samoa Joe versus Wardlow again. I say again as if I'm irritated, but that is a match I'm irritated, but like I much rather would see this than Samoa Joe and Darby Allin again.
Have you ever seen a kid that doesn't want something and he sits in the corner and then you're like, "Are you sure you don't want?" And he goes, "Fine."
I think
and like uncrosses his arms and still like takes it. That's me with this match. I'm not happy. I'm sitting in the corner with my arms crossed, pissed off, but it's gonna come on TV and I'm like, I guess it's gonna be fun.
I'm over this. Like TNT Championship reigns being like fucking 20 days before
the TNT Championship reign is
it's ridiculous.
Annoying.
Like,
it is annoying that it goes back and forth so quick. It means nothing.
There was like a couple reigns that were like really long, and like here lately, like remember when freaking that shit with Sami Guevara, Cody Rhodes, and Scorpio Sky, where the title changed like 15 times in a goddamn month.
Yeah,
like,
I'm a little annoyed by that. I don't like that the mid-card title means absolutely nothing in both the men's and women's division. If you're gonna have a title, make it mean something. If you're gonna use it just as a fucking prop, then don't do anything. Just make just use the FTW championship at that point.
The worst part of this for me is I want Wardlow to fucking win. I want him to have the goddamn title back because he shouldn't have lost it in the first place. But if he wins, that means we're gonna have another like fucking 20 goddamn day TNT championship reign.
Well, you know, that is what it is. It's just Darby Allin. You can do whatever you want with him. But yeah, we're gonna get another one where we get another promo about people talking on the internet about Wardlow. Is that what we're gonna get? Because if we're gonna get that again, I don't want to give him the fucking title.
I don't know. Because it seemed like realistically especially now that they're going to start doing the Ring of Honor shows. I think now we're going to start getting into the groove of the Ring of Honor championships being over there and AEW stuff being here. So I think realistically, the best way to do it, just bite the bullet and give Wardlow the TNT title back, and then we'll stick Samoa Joe and Ring of Honor with that title, and then we can.
I wonder if they're going to expand the Ring of Honor title, or if they're going to put a bunch of people from that are just floating around dark over on Ring of Honor. If they're going to expand the roster or not. I
imagine they'll still do crossover shit, but they'll
the
Ring of Honor stuff they'll keep on Ring of Honor.
All the people that are in Ring of Honor roster right now on the website are just AEW people.
Yeah, it's just people
what are you gonna do about
previously had the titles in the last year or so or have fought for them.
What I hope happens is that they go back to the real undercard, like developmental people.
Yeah, can
go to like into dark, and that can be just from the one spot in what is it, Full Sail or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
Whichever one it is. I don't think it's Full Sail. I think it's the other one that Impact used to be in. But they can go over there to Impact, where the Impact Zone used to be, and just do dark out of that. And then whatever they do for TV tapings that they used to do, like dark tapings with Dynamite and Rampage, just do Dynamite, Rampage, and Ring of Honor, and put Ring of Honor on there, and just use people that you would have used on dark.
Yeah.
Just use that. There's a whole bunch of really good people on dark that can just go. Like right now, I didn't know this. Did you know that until just a little bit ago, what's her name? Athena has been wrestling weekly on dark.
No, I didn't know that at all. I haven't watched Dark in quite a while.
She's been defending the Ring of Honor Women's Championship weekly on Dark.
That's pretty
recently.
wild. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's just a build up for the Ring of Honor
what I'm
show.
hoping that is she's the Ring of Honor champion. She's got Mercedes Martinez, obviously, is still there and doing stuff on Dark and looking good. There's a whole bunch of people that are on Dark that can be used. There's a whole bunch of people that can go back and forth. Like, there is a whole big roster for them. They just didn't have Ring of Honor, and I'm hoping this opens it up for everything Ring of Honor and just makes it to where we have a different show. We have these people that aren't being used.
Okay, so I looked up here, like and it is the Ring of Honor TV taping is literally going to be in the same exact fucking place. Like, why
Dynamite, right?
As Dark?
Oh, as Dark?
Yeah.
So they're just doing it there for the TV taping?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck. They're just going to do that.
So, like, why would they not just do this?
They're going to I guarantee you that's what they're going to start doing. Now, instead of having just Dark on YouTube, because they're not really doing much off of Dark, if they make everybody pay for Ring of Honor, everybody loves Ring of Honor. Just let them have Ring of Honor and make them pay for it.
I'm going to look here to see if... okay, yeah, it is. It's exactly what I thought. They're doing both. You buy tickets and you get tickets to AEW Dark and Ring of Honor. They just filming both in the same day.
I might have to take a trip down to Florida one day. Go watch a Ring of Honor taping.
So it's like,
I know I'm gonna try and catch some stuff around here now that they're touring more.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've never said this out loud before. The best acquisition they've made recently is Jeff Jarrett.
Well, I think that would be a good,
at least for me,
good quick swerve into the AEW doing house shows.
Well, yeah,
was the thing that was announced.
Yeah, the house show thing is big, and that's part of it.
Which is, I wonder, realistically, because right, exactly, because I thought, like, from my perspective, a lot of these dudes didn't like the house show schedule in WWE, and they like doing the schedule that like the once a week or twice a week in AEW. So I wonder how many people are like. I wonder if this will be like something that they have to, like, if they're forced to do, or if they're only going to get people that are interested in doing it, or how it's going to work.
A little bit into that and what's been said about it. From my understanding, what it's doing is it's instead of people going out and doing indie dates to make up for dates that they're doing at WWE or AEW, so that they can go out and make extra money on indie dates.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're allowing them to do house shows. So they'll have people to do house shows instead of doing an indie date to make up the extra. And I don't know if it counts towards their dates on their regular contract, or if that's something that they're doing where they're just like, it's a by appearance for, or it's per appearance for the house shows. But they're kind of making it to where if you're gonna work and do extra dates, do them for us on house shows. We're gonna run the house shows. They're not gonna be big. It's not gonna be a big deal like WWE is. So it's not gonna be as big of a thing. But instead of going out and doing indie dates for GCW, PWG, and possibly getting hurt at an indie date, if you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get hurt at ours. It's fine. You're doing something for us. Plus, we can put that into storyline saying, "Hey, so and so fought at a house show, and they did this, and now they're in a thing." And it can be the start of stuff. It's fun to do, and it makes if you do it the right way. And I think if knowing who, like I said, Jeff Jarrett was a fantastic acquisition for them.
Right.
He was a great person to hire because Jeff Jarrett has the ability, and you can see it with Impact, to make shows and do them cheaply, and he can probably turn a profit.
This also doesn't seem like something they're not hitting as hard, right?
No, I don't see them. They have only announced one house show.
So there's only one house show announced for the next like 3 months. So
right, and that's all they're saying is that there's this one house show. It's just a house show. They did it,
and it's only $20
last year. Well, they did one last year for.
Wait a minute. How far away is this?
Where is it at?
Troy, Ohio.
Oh, you bitch.
I gotta look.
You bitch.
If this is close, I could definitely
I'm gonna
go.
hate you if you go.
Oh, it's 2 hours away. That's too far for me.
Oh, that sucks. We need to find one close to each other. Like, or go up there or something. Or when you're down here at some point. We need to figure that out. No, because like the house show would be cool. They did one last year though during WrestleMania, so
yeah,
I think if
that
they do
makes
it
sense.
once every few months or once like once a month, run a house show. That would be kind of cool. Once a month, a house show. Once every couple weeks, something to supplement some things. So it's I don't know. It's just something else to do, and I like also getting Jeff Jarrett into the company because he has connections with other places that they didn't have connections with before, which is why they've been running so many damn dates in Texas. And I think they were in Tulsa at one point. And they were somewhere else. It's like, holy shit, they're running close. I can actually go to a show now.
Yeah.
It's so nice. And it's because they got Jeff Jarrett. So like whatever anybody wants to say about Jeff Jarrett, the man has connections because of him and his dad, luckily. Rest in peace, homie. But it's cool because now they're running more places and going to different places rather than just East Coast or full West Coast. It didn't seem like they had any places in the middle, but now they're doing that. And I like that I'm able to find a place to go. I don't have to fly somewhere to go.
Yeah.
I don't have to see the fifth episode of Dynamite in 4 months in Chicago anymore.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Well, to wrap up the Revolution stuff, there's 2 things to know. The last confirmed thing is obviously the tag titles. Acclaim versus the Guns versus whoever wins the Battle Royale next week and whoever wins the Battle Royale in 2 weeks. I fucking hate this. I think this is stupid. Why are we doing this?
Stupid, but I get what they're doing because also I'm really excited. One of the people that is being pulled in for the tag tournament or battle royal or whatever is Aussie Open.
Yeah.
And their contracts just ran out.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they get pulled into AEW because that's another really fun tag team and a really good tag team to put in.
This seems such a shitty way to go about doing this match especially after how sour everybody is on the Guns getting the tag titles or the Acclaimed. I don't know. This seems very strange, and I am not a fan. But regardless, I think it'll be a good match. I imagine it's better. So I really, in the end, can't complain. Shitload.
It's a weird format as far as like 4-team tag team matches go.
Yeah,
it's always a weird format and kind of odd. But usually those turn into some fun stuff. Like even the 3-way ones are kind of fun.
Yeah.
You get stuff like, what was it? The NXT tag team championship. That was a 4-way.
Yeah, and that was awesome. Like a freaking hardcore match.
That was awesome. Well, usually when you have a 4-way match, it turns into that because there's no real rules and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, but don't these tag matches like this normally can only have 2 people in the ring at a time? It doesn't matter how many teams there are on the side.
Well, yes, but that's the thing about that they said from the beginning of AEW is they have a very lax rule set for tag teams.
Yeah,
because you're only supposed to have the 5-second in ring together.
Mm-hmm.
They count, but all of that is discretion. And actually, the way AEW works, anyways, all of it is at referee discretion, which in kayfabe. So that means if they want to let them fight outside and get away with it because it's a championship match and they don't want to call it for no reason, they're gonna let them go. So that's the thing about these. Usually, those type of tag team matches turn into lucha style tornado tag team matches where it's just everybody in and out whenever you need to, and then somebody remembers, oh, I have to be the legal man in and make a tag, and that's who makes the pin. That's about it. So it'll be fun. It'll just turn into a big spot fest. That's all it'll be.
Right.
And that's all anybody should look at it for. It'll be fine. It'll be fun. Did you see what Dax said about the Gun Club?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
He says he was talking about them and he goes, basically what he was saying is, I like that. He goes, I don't get along with them. He goes, I don't enjoy
I feel like
being around them. He goes, they're good kids. They're not terrible people. They're good people. Their dad did great, but it's also this weird entitlement thing that they're not even aware of. because they are what everybody says they are. They got there because of their dad, and everybody knows it. They're not terrible at their job. They're just not ready to be anything, and everybody associates them with their dad. It's kind of a blessing and a curse, but he just doesn't like, because there is this weird air of entitlement that maybe they're not even aware of, that he just doesn't like hanging out with them. And it was like, oh, it's kind of sad. You sound like you're upset about it, like you're not happy that's how you feel, but that's just the way it is. And it was like, I get it. They are just there because of their dad, and it's unfortunate because I'm sure that they can be anything, but they're just so closely associated with their dad, especially with their dad wrestling in the same company. It's so hard to not get them away with.
Well,
and it's a lot of their fault too. So.
Speaking of spot fests, because we all know it's going to be, because that's what they do. It's the only thing they can do.
Yes.
It's not confirmed, but it's gonna happen. Let's be real. We're gonna get the Elite versus the House of Black at Revolution for the trios titles. I mean,
my body is ready.
It was teased at Rampage. Not an official announcement, but that's the only way you do it. There's literally nobody else that you could do a trios match with right now.
Can I tell you one of my favorite...
And I would actually give a shit.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Can I tell you one of my favorite thoughts about this randomly?
What?
And it has nothing to do with the 6 men in the ring. I'm waiting for the fantastic interaction between Brandon Cutler and Julia Hart, because I'm sure something's gonna happen weird.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that,
because that's gonna be fun, because he's gonna be scared of Julia Hart because she's the little witch, the wicked little witch, so that'll be fun. I like this, and that's actually something that in an interview Malachi Black just said, which was, if we're going to be together in this group, it doesn't make sense for us to not go after the 6-man belt. We need the trios. We need to at least give a good attempt at it and make us look good, because we've got to do this.
Yeah.
And I think he's kind of frustrated with his booking. I am too. I like Malachi Black so much.
While I'm thinking about it, because I actually forgot. Speaking of frustrated, again, we've got another tweet from Lance Archer and his irritation and being not booked poorly, but not booked at all. He tweeted out,
not even a little bit.
He tweeted out on the 12th, 51 days since I last laced up my boots, not by choice. He's been very verbal over the past several months about his lack of being used, and I don't blame him. I fucking love Lance Archer.
I love Lance Archer.
Why the hell he is not getting used is beyond me. The same thing with Miro, dude. Fucking bring both them bitches back fucking Wednesday and just have them fight each other, for fuck's sake. Like, goddamn.
Okay. No, that's what actually should happen. Some of these people that aren't around a whole lot, just have them come back and just get in a fight against each other.
I'd watch the shit out of that.
Just watch. Give me Miro and Lance Archer. Of course I'm watching that. Miro's weird. I don't know what Miro's deal is. Have you heard anything about what...
I don't know. I've seen
like anything said from him.
Miro and Lance Archer are very much the same on Twitter regarding their booking. They're not happy and they're frustrated.
That's what I was trying to figure out, if he's even said anything. I haven't heard anything from Miro.
Lance Archer is he's blatant about it. He'll just straight up tweet. It's like, he might as well at this point just tweet, man, I'm so fucking pissed I'm not getting used at AEW. Is basically at this point that's just what he should say at this point.
Dude, if the last tweet he should do before he shows up on AEW is swerve everybody and nobody announce that he's gonna be there, and just be like, I'm really getting fucking tired of not working, and then come in the next day and just be on the match card. That would be hilarious. But no, it is one of those things where he is loud, and I've seen him on Twitter. I don't know anything about Miro off of, like, I don't watch anything with him,
right?
Or see anything with him. I don't even follow him on Twitter. But, like, I don't see him say anything or hear him say anything. It's just he randomly shows up in, like, wedding photos for WWE guys. I'm like, hey, look, there's Miro. What the fuck?
And one last small AEW thing before we move on to New Japan. This is kind of a meme, but we got these tagged battle royales happening for that pay-per-view match. And I don't know that all the opponent tag teams have been decided or not, but
I don't know.
When, like, there when was it? Like a month or so ago, or maybe it was a few weeks ago. I don't remember. It came out. Big Show was like, I'm getting to the point where I can come back, and I can't wait to get back in there and do stuff. Well, shortly after he said that, like, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, Chris Jericho filed for a trademark on Jeri-Show. That the name of Big Show and Chris Jericho's tag team in WWE.
My God! And
could you imagine? We get the Big Show and Chris Jericho in one of those tag matches together. That would I would love that in just the worst possible way. I would be all on board.
I would hate it in the most loving way possible. I would be so fucked off by that. It wouldn't even be funny. But I would also be like, all right, let's see what kind of shit show this is going to be. Because all I can think in my head whenever I think of the Big Show right now is one of the last times he was really doing anything in WWE. And you heard the chant. And I think it might have been a Royal Rumble or some sort of Battle Royal.
Yeah.
And you just hear the chants of, please retire. It's like, oh,
poor guy.
Oh,
and I guess shit. I did also forget that it is now official that Mark Briscoe is All Elite. Like, he is now on AEW TV and can work on AEW TV.
I need his backwoods meth head energy. Just the most positive meth head in the world. He's a fantastic guy. Apparently the whole family is amazing, and I'm so happy that he's on TV finally.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off, and I'll never forgive anybody at Warner or anything for what they did to the Briscoes. And the fact that basically if Jay had been at TV for being on AEW where he should have been, he might not have been at home, and those girls might not have been in the car with him. So
yep,
it's just one of those things where somebody fucked them over, and now the only reason we have anything good happening for Mark is because his brother's dead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
sucks.
I'm glad things are working out for Mark.
He deserves it on his own. He got here because of Mark being Mark, but it was, the catalyst for it was a sad situation that the whole family seems like they're dealing with really well, and hopefully the girls are okay, and that's really the only thing that anybody really cares about at this point.
New Japan, I guess.
New Japan, but just only because they just had a show, really.
I didn't watch New Japan. I just know kind of like the things that have happened. I think the big thing, we'll talk about JY in a minute because there's several things about him. But Mercedes Moné, or Sasha Banks, I guess she's the IGWP or IWGP Women's Champion now.
Yep, she took it from Kairi, previously Kairi Sane, and they had a nice moment afterwards where they actually hugged, and she wasn't a heel.
Yeah, apparently, from what I've read, Kairi picked Mercedes Moné specifically.
Yeah, Kairi knew that Mercedes was going to be big and needed was putting the belt on her as big because it gets a lot of eyes because everybody was already looking for what she was gonna do.
There's been so many clips of Mercedes talking to Kenny Omega backstage, and he made I don't know if it was like a video documentary thing or something. I haven't seen it, but I think she put something out like that, and she seems she just seems to be excited about doing shit in Japan, and good for her.
Yeah. No, she looks like she's finally happy with what's going on. It sucks that she left just a little while before the whole thing with Hunter, because Hunter would have loved to have her, I'm sure. Who wouldn't? But she's going out and she's doing, you know what? Here's the thing about that. She might have done it anyways because she's getting to go do what she loves, which is go do Joshi wrestling. Go do the Japanese style of wrestling now. So that's kind of the thing about her. When she left WWE for a little while, she took a long break. Everybody saw her in Japan training, and that's what she was doing. So that's where she wanted to go. And I think it just was, she finally decided to go. And dude, the float over, the thing that they screwed up that was her new finisher. They did it in the match, and I'm looking at a 5-second GIF of it. It's so perfect. They both did so good. It looked so much better this time. but it was a good match. And, you know, she's going to be big. She's going to probably end up in AEW at some point. She's going to get a huge pop. They're going to put her against Paige.
The other Mercedes Moné thing was, like, she was talking about, like, she's doing stuff in Japan, but she's a free agent. She's just going, doing whatever. So she talked about, like, I can go to New Japan, Mexico, Germany, Europe, Impact, or whatever. And she talks about specifically who she would love to face next is Mickie James on Impact. And god damn, I'd be all aboard that. That'd be awesome.
Would literally watch an Impact show if that happens.
Mickie James is already, like, she's at the end of her career. This will probably be her last title run, I would imagine, before she retires. And this is the time to do it. Like, because if they don't do this match, like, it won't happen again. Like, you know, if she retires.
Yeah,
so I would love to see that.
I want to see it soon. I think it'll happen soon. And the fact that she's free to do whatever dates she wants to, that does open a whole. She didn't mention directly AEW. That's because everybody's just expecting it. Because what else are you going to do? You're going to go to the other big place. That's New Japan, and that's AEW. You're going to go do Impact because they have people there too. It draws. It's a payday.
Yeah.
But, like, you're literally looking at New Japan pays me a whole shitload to wrestle in Japan, and AEW is going to pay me a bunch. Because we're both going to make money. Go do it. Go. Because we're going to get, what are we going to get? We're going to get Mercedes Moné against, she can go to Ring of Honor. She can go fight Athena again.
Yeah.
She can go fight Toni Storm. We can get, oh my God, we can get Mercedes Moné against Saraya. And actually good.
Again, like, apparently, like,
we can get a whole bunch of shit.
So many people just love her, apparently. Like, every time she does these shows, like in Japan, she always has like you got Naomi and fucking Bailey is usually there with her. Fucking even CM Punk was there.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Like,
it's
that's
like
the thing. She's
apparently a very well liked in the wrestling community.
Apparently, from everything that I've heard, like, she's got some, you know, everybody's got a little bit of an ego sometimes.
Right.
And some people have, you know, some prima donna disposition. And I've heard that about her before. But it's never been over, like, it's always been, like, small little things here and there that you hear. And then it's, like, overwhelmingly, it's like, she's such a nice person. Everybody likes her. I mean, who doesn't want to hang out with the nice, cute, athletic chick that wrestles, that's really good at wrestling, whose uncle is also, or cousin or whatever, who's also related to Snoop Dogg? So, like, why wouldn't you want to hang out with Mercedes Moné? I want to hang out with her. She's cool. And Snoop Dogg. Also. I mean, why wouldn't you? But no, she's actually really well liked, all jokes aside and everything. So it's cool to see her do stuff, and everybody was really supportive of when she finally said, I'm fucking done. And everyone's like, it's kind of fucked up to do at the show, but I get it.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to see that everybody's still supporting her, and everybody's excited. So, but she's so good. Like, I remember seeing the switch from being Mercedes and being Sasha Banks that she was when she started, where she was happy babyface. She made a kid cry on television one time. She made a little girl in the crowd cry because she turned heel and beat up, I think it was Bailey in NXT. And that's when everybody's like, oh, Sasha Banks. She's the boss. This is awesome. It's fucking best.
Well, I think the last thing to talk about is Jay White in general.
Jay White is a big deal. I mean, Okada won against Tanahashi, big deal. Zack Sabre Jr. won. Tom Lawler. Oh, that's the guy. Okay, I know what that is. I'm just looking at anything else that's on here. Oh, I already mentioned it. Bobby Fish lost. That's my other one. Just because
I literally I'm like this match card. I don't know who these people are.
I know a lot. I mean, Kenta beat Fred Rosser. He's now the strong open weight title holder. That's kind of a thing.
Dude, the Motor City Machine Guns were there.
Were they?
Yeah.
Where were they? Oh my God, they were.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So Motor City Machine Guns, they won. They're still open weight tag champions. There was an 8-man tag, which was just another New Japan 8-man tag spot fest that was fun. That was about it. But the big deal of the night, besides, Okada and Tanahashi kind of looked like they were going to get back together as a tag team and go after the tag team championships. But that's not big for most people. The big news as far as like industry stuff is Jay White losing.
He's been on on his way out of New Japan for like a few months now.
Yeah,
and like this was like, he faced so right. He was just it was one of those instances where it was like it's time to do something new, you know.
Yeah, for everybody involved.
But we got Eddie Kingston versus Jay White, and the loser of the match can never wrestle in NJPW again. And I'm assuming that just means literally all of NJPW. And they played that off as okay, he can't go here anymore. Now he's got to go somewhere else. So, and there's not been really much of any talk of him going to AEW, even though he's done shit on AEW. All of the talk is revolving around him potentially going to WWE and the WWE being very interested in having Jay White. I mean, who wouldn't be really interested in having Jay White?
I think a lot of that has to. Well, yeah, true. I think a lot of that also has to do with the fact that at this point, it's a viable option. Again, all the changes in WWE recently. Right. I keep saying stuff about it and repeating it. People all over the place keep repeating it. It is because it's such a big deal that change happened, and it's a visual, obvious change that has happened in booking and the way things are running and the way things are being put together to make people look good.
Yeah.
It's a viable option to put Jay White there. Do I like Jay White in WWE? Not necessarily, because I kind of like hard-edged Jay White. I kind of like him a little edgy and a little bit like he can, like when he needs to go further, he can.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. But Jay White in WWE right now, I could see it.
Yeah.
Am I happy? Am I entirely happy with it? No. Am I going to still watch it? Absolutely, because I like Jay White. So it's I think that's why people are focusing so hard on that, is because WWE said, yeah, of course we want Jay White. Who doesn't want Jay White?
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, oh, well, there's actually a decent reason for Jay to look at that and go, huh, that doesn't look like a terrible idea. So it gets the most attention when AEW is just obvious.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. Like now it's weird. We've had this complete shift over the past year or so. Before it was like all the rumors oh, this guy's gonna go to AEW, that guy's gonna go to AEW. Now it's that guy's going to WWE, that guy's going to WWE. All the shit with Jay White and Matt Cardona, and there was an FTR, and people were even talking about CM Punk. And then now another one that they've talked about a lot here lately is fucking Kenny Omega. Apparently, but WWE believes that they can sign Kenny Omega, and I don't know when his contract is expired, but
the Bucks and Kenny come up next or April, I think they just talked about.
Yeah, they're
already negotiating stuff, so that's why that came up recently.
Mm-hmm.
Is because they could. It's a possibility.
They could. I think realistically,
Kenny would work in WWE.
Right, that's what I'm about to say. I think Kenny Omega would be better off in WWE than Jay White.
Oh, I wholeheartly agree.
I think he would fit that goofy vibe better.
Well, Kenny Omega has always had that weird, weeby, anime, goofy energy to him.
Yeah.
Because that's what he is. He's that guy. He's always loved Japan. He's always been into anime and video games. So he has that weird, goofy anime aesthetic to him. Even when he was the leader of the what do you call that? The Bullet Club in New Japan. Even when he was the leader of the Brutal One, he came out as the cleaner holding a broom. He was he had the 80s Terminator action hero aesthetic to him, but it was always tongue in cheek. Yeah. So if you put him in WWE, he'll flourish there easy. It's easy for him to do the goofy stuff that they do. It's easy for him to get over with the goofy stuff that they do. So is it easier to see him there? Yeah. Is it going to be easy for them to get him there? I don't know about that. I don't know how easy it'll be.
It'll be a costly purchase.
It'll be a very expensive purchase. I don't know if it'll be. I don't know who end up being more expensive. Was Cody more expensive, or do you think?
Damn, that's a good question.
Kenny
actually
would be more expensive.
I think that's a weird one because you would think that Kenny would be worth more than Cody, but like I think given everything that happened and how Cody is like now, like I don't think Kenny would probably get as much money as Cody.
Well, no. Here's the deal. I don't know if they would offer him as much, but to get him to leave, it would have to cost more.
Yeah.
I think Cody was done. They could have offered him a little bit less, like maybe even a little bit less than what they offered him. I don't know what it was, but they could have. He was just done.
When Cody left,
AEW was kind of like the crowds were kind of done. The whole thing was kind of done with Cody, and it's not anything like Cody tried and everybody like watched. It's just it didn't work. And it wasn't working, and it wasn't. I don't know if maybe it was just some missteps, Cody's fault, everybody else expecting things from him. I don't know. It just didn't work in the end. And now that he's going to WWE, it is like, oh, he's going back to WWE. That's kind of a cool thing. And that means something. So it builds a little bit, and he is worth a little bit, but I don't know, to get somebody like Kenny Omega over to WWE, like you would have to pay a lot of money for that, because there's so much that he's involved with on that side. Because I mean, he's EVP, whatever that means, and he's also actually head up of AEW games. So like that's another part of it. Is he going to leave for that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't really consider that.
I don't think it's likely for him to go. I think it would work, and I can see it, and I understand why he would even entertain the offer. But I think if I understand Kenny the way I would like, I kind of think I do, he would be more involved with, like, I get to do the video game stuff. I get to do booking with, like, the women's stuff, too, he tried to do. I came away from him a little bit and kind of got away from him. But he can still help with booking there. He's not going to have any of that to do. And if he wants to do that and likes to do that, that's going to be worth more than any of the money they're going to give him just to come and be a guy on TV.
Yeah.
So
I wanted just like talking about the free agent stuff. I wanted to look to see like who all is coming up for like a contract renewal or free agency. As far as free agencies that are happening this year, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Alexa Bliss, Brock Lesnar, Street Profits, The New Day, MJF. To be fair, the majority of those people will stay exactly where they are. But those are apparently the list of people's contracts who will expire this year.
Okay, you said Kenny, Bucks, Alexa Bliss. Who was the person after that?
Alexa Bliss, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Okay, that doesn't matter.
FTR. I already closed it. It was Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Alexa Bliss, Brock Lesnar, Street Profits, New Day, MJF, FTR. Those are the contracts expiring this year. Most of those people will stay exactly
FTR,
where they are. But
everybody except for FTR is staying put. And
right.
FTR is just a coin toss at this point, and whichever one is fine, like we talked about. But
and they'll do wherever they go. It'll be great for them. So
yeah, no, they'll be fine wherever they go. So
and they've talked about several times now, or he's talked about, Dax talked about that he believes that wherever they end up going, this is going to be their final run before they retire.
Okay. I mean, maybe go back and make yourself look good in WWE.
Yeah.
I get that. Like, get over in WWE.
Dax talks a lot about he's a family guy, and he loves wrestling, loves what he does, he loves the business, but his family comes first, and when he's on the road and doing the wrestling stuff, all of that is time taken away from his family. So, I can respect it.
Also, how much you're gonna be able to keep up with that if you're breaking yourself,
right? That's another thing you talked about. Like there was like times where like you know, he would like when he bruised his ass at New Japan or whatever it was, like he was talking about like his daughter asked like, oh, you want to come to my tea party or whatever, and I'm just sitting there and like I go up there. And she's sitting at this tiny little table, and I have to get down into the floor. And I'm just in excruciating pain, trying to position myself on one side of my ass cheek so that I'm not in so much pain, having a tea party upstairs. Because I don't want to be the father that has to tell you know, my daughter no.
He's a good guy.
I know. I love Dex so much.
He is wrestling dad. Is what he is. He's the best. No, I completely understand that. So yeah, maybe go back. If this is going to be the place where you end up and you end things, and you're not going to be able to go back and forth, which I don't think a lot of people will be able to pull off. Like, hey, can I go wrestle in WWE? No. Why would you even ask that? Like, there's not going to be really anybody conceivably that I can think that can pull that off. So, if you're going to go back to WWE to make yourself look good and finally get over in WWE, might as well. You can pull one over on the Uzi hot shit.
Yeah. And he did say that the news of Vince McMahon being back on the board it is something that he is now like that he's obviously actively aware of and thinking about when in his consideration on going wherever he decides to go.
I bet that is a consideration. It would be for me. That's for damn sure.
He stated a lot that for whatever reason, Vince McMahon just did not like them.
I don't get that, dude.
I don't know.
They're exactly up his alley. They're old school as shit. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know.
Like, that never made sense to me. And that was a lot of it. I guess it didn't make sense to a lot of people, to be fair. But a lot of people were like, this should be exactly what Vince wants.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I don't get it. It's fine.
I don't know.
Yeah, him being on the board is kind of one of those things where you're like, he's on the board. He says he doesn't have anything to do with it, but when's he gonna like finally say something?
That's something that it was Sean Ross Sapp was talking about. Like this Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Like Vince McMahon is still there for like giving input on how everything should go, and obviously probably has some sway on like Triple H on things, but ultimately it is the final say is Triple H's. And that was I think that was a little concerning to think about like going into the pay-per-view, but now having seen the pay-per-view, like the pay-per-view was good. I do feel better about it, yeah. It was a good pay-per-view. There was some very Vince McMahon WWE finishes, I feel, but
I feel like that's kind of on brand at this point, regardless of who's in charge. I think one of those things is you can't entirely say that Vince has no idea what he's doing. He hasn't had any idea what he's doing lately.
Yeah.
Like now. But if there's something where you're like, there's got to be a way out of this that they used to do, and you go ask like Vince or one of the other guys that was with Vince, like, and ask them, that would be one thing. Like that's completely different. To me, you can't discount Vince as like, hey, how did you get out of this situation? We booked like when so and so was in this. What did we do? And he goes, oh, we did this, this, and this. Oh, okay. But what about this? Oh, no, you don't worry about that because you do this. Like, that's fine. But having him book an entire fucking show would be psychotic at this point.
Yes, absolutely. But, well,
I think about it.
I think that about does it.
For everything this week.
Yeah. There was some other small stuff, but it is 7 p.m. at this point.
Yeah, it's small stuff. It's not that big a deal. I mean, we can always update later.
Yeah, I've got some like stuff that might be. They might be better to do like a full video on like itself.
Yeah,
that might be something we could do later this week. A lot of the lot of the Tony Khan shooting on WWE, that interview, and then the aerial shit. I want to talk about that, but I think
the Ariel Award deserves it all by himself.
I think we have enough to talk about with that we could just do its own video on it.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Because Tony Khan has been off the rails this past week. He said some wild shit.
He got in some good Colombian shit recently, is what happened, and he has just shot his fucking mouth off And you know what? I'm here for it. Shoot on him, bud. You know what? Again, I'm gonna put this one over. You know what? Let Tony cook, man. He's fine. He'll be all right. Just let him go. It makes me happy. I love it whenever he goes off. If he would come out and do another promo like this, I would be much happier. But you know, whatever. It's fine. I like the interviews, but the Ariel Awani thing just is wild.
Yes.
That one just ruins, like, everybody kind of, I don't even want to get into it at this point. It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much. The Ariel Awani thing definitely deserves to be made into a video. That's something different because holy shit. Oh, well.
Well, I think that is going to do it for today's episode, though. I think next live react will be on March 5th for Revolution.
Already.
Well, yeah, and then we got live react April 1st for WrestleMania. We'll keep planning on putting the recording these videos on Sundays and having them up at some point during the week. If you've not liked the video, you should definitely do so. If you're listening on Spotify, hell yeah, that's great. If you're not listening on Spotify, go to Spotify right now and follow it. Follow the show on Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, great, you should sub. If you're not watching on YouTube, go to YouTube and sub right now. That would be fantastic. And you were at this point, we got Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. All the links are in the description below. Go check them all out. And that's going to wrap things up. So peace out, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one. And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.